Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? We're back, another episode of, or another meeting of the Cross Country Compatriots. As you can see, we are down our Mr. Maker today. He is currently celebrating the 1-year anniversary with his wife, so, we figured to give him the night off for that one. We won't hold it against him. Oh, I get advantage. Unfortunately, you can only give that to the players. I'll take it.
I think we can make an exception.
I'll take it. I'm gonna fucking take it.
I don't.
I'm taking it.
I think we no.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
But can only be used for an ally or better of the group.
I feel like you're putting rules on me. No, the DMs get disadvantage around here. Okay. We need someone to like keep a book of all the. Well, I guess if we don't use them in the stream, they don't carry over. All right, I got you.
Yeah, that was your rule about it.
You got a whiteboard back there.
You want to be the whiteboard? I will buy you a whiteboard if you want to be the whiteboard guy and keep track of all this. Okay.
I'll do it. I think I already. Next stream, I got this. We'll be good.
All right, beautiful. We're gonna do arts and crafts. What's up, Nas? How's it going, buddy? Welcome in. We got all the homies showing up tonight. Yeah, okay. So I will remember that I have advantage on a roll. I'm gonna give myself advantage. There shouldn't be a lot of enemies today. Y'all got your ass soundly handed to you last week. In terms of new shit going on, going forward, we're gonna be taking the last Monday of the month off every month here, just to give me a little extra time to prep and get my shit together, and just give me a little downtime. We're also going to be shooting some special content for the YouTube. I'm not going to say anything about it now. It's going to be a little secret. I'll come out with the details as we get a little further in, but we're hoping to give you a little more insight into the world in which we're playing and some of the characters you see at the table here. Other than that, not a whole lot new going on.
Gang joins the sex slave ring.
Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a Degrassi styled one shot. We're all gonna be in high school.
We're not ever doing that. No, sir.
I didn't sign up for any of that.
I don't want to wait for my fries to get colder. Okay. We're never doing that.
Unless it's Dawson's Creek.
Okay.
If you ever give me the reins, you know that's what's gonna happen now.
I will. Okay. Once we're done with the little YouTube series things we're working on, you're gonna run a one shot on stream for me.
Futurama themed sexy one shot.
Oh god. We can run it here too. We can do an actual in-person.
Everywhere.
We can do an in-person D&D game, guys. It could be great. It could be really fun. We can make this happen. Bamf. Dave says Bamf.
Bamf.
Okay. So, quick recap at that point. Since Hells isn't here, I don't have to worry about checking if he's got anything new or any new murders going on in his creepy streaming shit. But quick recap. Last session, some chaos ensued. It was arguably the largest scale battle that any of our players have ever participated in terms of sheer size. With the help of Mr. Maker, you blew a massive hole in the side of Adrock, the great slave city here in the Imperium. Only about a half day's ride from Pillarstone itself. Basically causing the largest escape that has ever been seen in Imperium history, numbering in the thousands. Basically bigger than anything that has ever occurred in this country, possibly the continent. However, the fight didn't exactly go in your favor. While your forces, the elves and the members of the Hushroot tribe that remained, were able to overcome their adversaries in battle, you were faced with taking down the commander and her entendre of people. And, well, needless to say, there was a pretty heated exchange between all of you, a pretty vicious battle ensuing in which counter spells were launched at each other. Healing spells were fizzled out into nothingness. People were held firmly in place. We were countering counter spells. There was all kinds of crazy shit going on. We tried. You tried. You definitely tried. I will say. However, as each of the party falling one by one, Mantuka quickly realized that his only chance for him and his party to get out of this alive was to basically bum rush the commanding officer here and just tackle her to the ground and unleash a flurry of attacks with the blade of his halberd basically just held into her chest as he pushing down and down and down. And as the last breath escaped her lungs, a small smile creased across her lips as the medallion that you've seen on so many high-ranking members of the Imperium here began to glow as her life force finally faded away. And as the last breath left her lungs, a massive explosion emanated from the pendant itself, seemingly tied to her very life. And Mantuka, as well, was consumed in the great blaze. his hit points reaching 0 and also falling into unconsciousness. We ended the session with all of you in the darkness, completely out, unconscious, on the ground, in the sand. No idea whether you were successful or not. For all you know, you could have been killed or recaptured. You don't know. So, find it reassuring when your eyes begin to flutter open. Sometime in the future, you're not sure how long it's been, but you find yourself coming to. Some of you bandaged, all of you bandaged, recovering from the wounds you sustained in battle. Mantuka, dealing with burns that cover your entire body. It was the most uncomfortable you felt since they dipped your hooves in molten iron. But if we don't mind, we're going to pop over to a new map here.
I like new maps.
We love new maps. So, this is the space you find yourselves in. You can see your little minis down on the beds there at the bottom of the space. You are underground. That much is painfully obvious to you as you look around and see no windows. The walls of these buildings are carved into the sandstone itself. You are in some kind of subterranean structure. I want all of you to go ahead and roll me perception check, please. Firescar honors Mogus. Definitely. Yeah, he's a little crispy. Little crispy.
I don't know why I
23.
rolled twice.
Gregory's did too. Are you still exhausted?
No.
I believe
Yes.
that.
Yeah, you can take off the... You can all hit your long rest button for that, by the way. And we'll just take the higher rolls from all your perception checks there. We'll give a little mercy. We'll take the first ones. So 23, a 23, and a 21. Okay. From what you can tell, based on the... and if you had 2 points of exhaustion, like Gregory does, those are all gone as well. It seems like you guys have been resting for a couple days at least. You guys have been just out. Though with those checks, it's pretty clear to you, based on what you're seeing, you are still in the Imperium. You don't get this kind of sandstone really anywhere else on the continent. Best you can tell, you are far beneath the Incendis Mountain range, somewhere in a subterranean building or structure. Gregory, you look over to the other bed in the room. Seemingly looks like there were 2 in here. And you see Mr. Maker looking a little worse for wear. He is yet to awaken. He is breathing. But he's just laid on this bed. And based on those checks too, you see that you are in fact on like what were once beds. They are made of stone. Again, carved from the sandstone, but there's a dip in them, almost as if like a mattress or some kind of padding would have once sat there, long since lost to the ravages of time. Gregory, you immediately recognize the architecture and design of this furniture as that of the Undara people. You've seen this before. While you were in the ruins of Adrock, handling the excavation and researching what you can during your time enslaved, you saw furniture that was very much made in similar ways. A lot of these, while they were an elven culture, they spent a lot of their time in certain places underground, especially once the Imperium began attacking in the first place. A lot of their cities literally just began moving underground. And it's pretty clear to you right away that you're in some kind of ancient Undaran house.
Oh.
And based on the size of the bed you're in, which, by the way, all of you do notice, the beds you are in far exceed the length of even yourselves. Stanislav, you stand what, 6'3"? Ish? Pretty tall.
Yeah.
Around
Just a
6
little
feet.
bit over 6 feet, yeah.
There's an extra foot or two.
162.
Extra foot or two on these beds. These were made for people who were exceptionally tall. Gregory, even you pick up pretty quick that you were in what probably was once a child's room. And even these beds themselves, probably about 5.5, 6 feet long.
God damn.
You can roll me a history check if you guys want to.
Yeah, I'm so good at those.
Gregory's read a book.
There's a 5 and a
Hey,
natural.
book. It was Go Spot Go.
Okay,
It's my
Fucking-
run.
not... You guys don't actually know a whole lot about their culture. With a 13, you do know, Mantuka, that they were elves. Elven in nature, tend to be a little taller and a little more lithe, at least in my universe. Can't speak for all of D&D, but you do know elves to be rather tall individuals already, and I think perhaps maybe an ancient race of them might have been even taller still. But that's really all you can pick up. You are alone in the rooms, apart from Gregory, who is in a room with sleeping Mr. Maker, and you see unnamed intern as well, just sitting next to the bed. in power down mode, kind of his legs and arms sucked into his little metal torso as he does. His eyes no longer glowing.
I kind of like groggily and very like newborn baby deer walk over to the bed and I'm just like, oh, he's breathing. Okay.
Yep.
I kind of like knock on UI's front face.
Bing,
Are
bing.
you okay?
You see the eyes light up green and kind of like light the room with this dim greenish glow. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, Masters of Fatal, you're awake."
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad. And I just give him like a big hug. I'm so
you,
glad
you
to see
feel his
you
little
guys
arms
again.
hydraulic out of the torso and give you a hug.
Aw. Do
Thank
we
you.
hear him?
Not quite. The doors are heavy and stone.
Where is everybody? Do you know? Where's
They were all given places to sleep. They should be
Hey.
nearby.
oh, stay 1 second. I just run to the door and I open it up.
You kind of come to this heavy sandstone door, and you kind of slide. It's like a sliding door. Slide sideways
Kinda
and
have to
into
Run
the
into
wall.
it a few times.
Yeah, you give it a little. And you
We
guys,
all reborn on the
at-
third day.
at this point, you guys, you guys do hear the grinding of stone on stone as Gregory slides his door open. You don't see him yet. Your doors are also closed, but
Oh,
you
shit.
can also hear
Hello?
the little anguished grunts of the little guy. What's up, Cindy? How's it
Gregory!
going?
Stan!
I don't really know what's going on, so out of panic, I try and push the door forwards.
Yeah, does not move at all. You
Okay.
do see there's like a handle on it. It's not
Oh,
a
oh
it's
shit,
not like
alright.
a knob or anything.
I go and let the handle off the door. Peter.
What's up,
Now,
Peter?
Poe.
Do I have my shit? Like, do I have all my shit?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
my
yeah.
weapon,
You're,
all
like
shit?
all of your gear is next to you. Like if all of you look around, you see all of your belongings are next to you on the
goodness.
floor. It looks like your armor, Stanislav, was taken off while they tended to your wounds, and that's just kind of leaned against the wall next to you.
How good are our dressings on our wounds?
Roll me a medicine check.
Surprisingly, Greg didn't care if he saw the box or the mask. He wanted to see his friends first.
Oh, it's so wholesome. Pretty good. Like you've seen. Roll me that with advantage. Actually, roll me that one more time.
Okay, I mean 14 isn't bad. I'm not gonna get much better than that. Oh shit! Okay.
No,
You,
that
you
attitude.
needed a 15 would have been what you needed.
I'm
for the
using
extra
reverse
detail there.
psychology lately, and it sort of works.
Hey,
You've seen your brother's handiwork a few times. You've seen the bandages he puts, the way he wraps them. It looks familiar.
Oh shit! That kind of familiar.
Aw.
It's definitely got a little bit of his style to it, as much as you can tell from a bandage wrapping. Weather check, JTB. Roll me a D100, please.
And I got one more question for you, DM. Was I sleeping at the time of this, or was I just like lounging?
You were all asleep. This is like the first time you've woken up in probably 2 or 3 days. Not
Okay,
that you
what
can
about
tell
you?
down here.
I come and open up the door and see Gregory as I do.
Yeah, Gregory is kind of in
Gregory.
the hall, standing there. 30. Okay, cool. We're underground in a cave right now, so when we come, if we come to the surface today, we'll figure out what that weather is. So far, it
Stanislav
seems
like
standard.
sees you and kneels down and just gives you a probably a bit too tight hug at first, and then realizes, oh shit, it hurts you, but it hurts him a little bit, probably more you, so he lightens up a little bit.
Yeah,
Greg's
you-
still just holding on. He doesn't care. He's just like, I didn't do it.
We're alive,
What
buddy.
happened? Are you
I-
sure? I'm right?
yeah. So for an underground kind of cavernous place here, even the roof's quite high, easily 10 feet.
It's
I
Some-
don't know
looks
if we're
like someone
alive or
who's-
dead there, buddy.
Okay. But we're together, and at the end of the day, I guess that's enough to be thankful for, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Mantuka and Mr. Maker?
Mr.
everybody
Maker's
else?
inside. Is in the room I
Oh.
was in. UI's in there too. They're both okay. I think. I talked to UI. I don't know where Mantuka.
The door on my left.
Yeah, there's just a closed door at the end of the hallway here. And Mantuki, you said you go back to sleep, right?
Yeah, I understand. If
Okay.
there's like a,
So
a
you
blanket I
hear-
can pull over my head.
Oh, there is. Like, these are nice
Okay,
beds.
100%.
You're not laying on any cushions, so you're basically laying on stone and a couple blankets that were put down. So it's not comfortable, but you've slept on worse. You pull the blankets
Fuck,
back up.
I got a blanket up, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's kind of like you guys hear from inside
It's not a fucking French door.
from Mantuka's room. You guys just hear like you hear like the sound of Mantuka snoring that you've grown quite familiar with. A couple Minotaur farts squeeze out here and there.
Yeah,
You know the drill at this point.
He's still out. Should we wake him up or should we give him some extra time to sleep?
I mean, I imagine I don't remember what happened to him, but if it took him down, yeah, he needs to sleep.
Oh yeah, none of
Okay.
you saw what happened to Mantuka at all. That
No.
sucks. That was like the
I was
most
about to be like,
glorious
he blew
thing.
the fuck up, but I don't think Greg saw that.
Nope, no, you were all out like a light.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think these bandages were done by my brother. So I think he's at least alive.
Do you think Val? They were all together. They were.
I mean, the fight was going well, the last I remember. But
Yeah, like
anything can happen in battle. We should figure
That's
out where
true.
we are.
yes, we should.
Do I see UI at this point as well?
If you look into Gregory's room, you'll see Mr. Maker just
Okay,
laying
yeah,
on
let's
the
try to
bed,
peek in.
mouth kind of like agape, bandage over his eye, over his head. Looks like one of his arms is
Saliva.
kind of fastened up. Yeah, and a little bit of dried blood.
Uh-huh.
On
Kind
his
of like a
cheek.
mix mass of a few different
Yeah.
faces. He's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's rough. He looks a little worse off than you guys are at this point, being that he's not waking up. It's almost like he's not here, but like Mr. Maker is just not here today. You know what I mean?
His body is not
Somehow I
quite as
do.
resilient as ours, and he needs a little bit of extra recovery time. I completely understand.
He did a lot in that fight.
Well, he's the one who broke us out. I mean, we kind of owe him our
Yeah.
lives.
This is.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Whenever I was fighting, he took off the necklace, and I felt something.
I looked down at my hands and like just
I cast a spell for the first time by myself. You know how I use everything and I do things with things pretty okay, but I never was able to do things by myself. And I did. I like to
Good
think
job
it
there,
had
little buddy.
Thank you. Don't want to take too much credit.
I'm looking at Mr. Maker.
Whatever he did, it pushed me in a way.
Well, maybe in the future, when everything is maybe a bit back more than normal, you can try and figure out how you did that and give some practice.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I don't know what I did, but you were going fast. Oh, I couldn't focus my eyes on you. You were kind of like a blur, you know. It was wild.
Well, it was like I used to be able to do, but it even felt even more powerful than that, to be honest.
Oh, this is good. I gotta figure out how I did that. I want to run like the wind.
I mean, to be fair, you can be a wolf as well. You can
Yeah,
run
that's
like
true.
Incendis wolf.
That's a
Although
valid-
last time you became a wolf, we all got captured and put back into slavery, so
That's true.
we'll be more careful with wolf next time.
I kind of thought, you know, nature maybe it would blend in, but the sight of seeing a boy turn into a wolf, people talk about that.
I also don't really remember seeing a black wolf in the desert as a child.
I gotta go to a library and look some stuff up.
and then for a second I say library and look stuff up and I just cling back to my
Yeah,
last
as you
month.
do, you hear a very familiar voice in your head. Just not let them find it. Just flash back to that. Every time you close your eyes, you see that woman's face.
Stan, whenever we figure out what's going on here tonight, or I gotta talk to you about something.
Okay, if it's really important, we should probably wait until we at least know where we are.
Yeah, priorities. I hope this isn't like some sick joke that the Imperium is playing on us.
Alright, well, let's go. Stay behind me.
Okay.
I run back to the room real quick and I just like put a hand on Mr. Maker's leg and
Okay,
And I go over to my box and my mask and just get ready.
Yep. You get all your gear together. Are you guys leaving Mantuka to sleep? Is that the plan? I'm just making sure I understand. Okay, cool. You just hear
I
coming from behind.
know
Yeah.
better than to wake a slumbering
Yeah, don't
minotaur.
poke the bull, literally. Okay, so the two of you, Stanislav, kind of cautiously in the lead. You kind of leave this little hallway, and you.
Oh,
come
I'm
into
gonna
a-
take the time to armor up, gear up, and then like be ready just in case we are being held prisoner.
So you have? Do you have your
So-
weapon out as well?
Oh yeah,
They're
you-
creative fucking people, those Imperium
I'll take the
bastards.
5 minutes to.
Yep. You
Take
come
5
out
minutes to put
into
my
this
back on.
kind of central square, like entryway. It's a fairly large building, about 35 or 40 feet in terms of just like each side. Very high ceilings, probably 20 feet higher or so. It looks beautifully carved. I want each of you roll me a history check. Kieran's raiding with a party of 4. Let's go, buddy. Thank you for the
Hi,
raid.
Kieran.
We appreciate you. How was the Sea of
That's
Thieves
better.
today?
See, okay, I was
And
just
Grim
nervous
coming
and
in with the raid too.
Whoa!
We got the double raids, dude.
We love you all.
Thank you guys. We love you. I hope you had a good Sea of Thieves day. I hope the seas were kind to you. Aves is on the shout out. I don't even have to deal with it. I love it. I love it. I can just focus.
Pirates!
We hope you had a good one. Sorry, what was that, Gregor?
Har, fiddle-dee-dee.
Being a pirate is alright with me. I know the song. I know the Lazy Town song. You think I wouldn't? You have some more monies. We love monies! Yay!
Whoa!
I appreciate you, Kieran. Thank you for that subby, buddy. We're just waking up. The party's just waking up from their little almost TPK
We
situation.
didn't die!
You didn't die. Just came very, very close. So, you come out of the hallway into this large square room, like I said, vaulted ceilings. History, we got a 10 and 22. You don't pick up anything, Stanislav. Gregory, you definitely do. You were right. Your first your first impressions were right. Looking here, you see carved into the walls very, very it's work very reminiscent of the Undara ruins that you saw before as well. It looks like a domicile made by the elves that used to live here in ancient times. However, what strikes you as interesting is, while these elves did spend a lot more time working with stone than their more natural counterparts in the forests of of Fellerin here, something that surprises you a bit about the way the stone is carved, it strikes you as almost dwarven in nature. Like, this is dwarven stonework with elven art carved into it.
And don't elves and dwarves kinda, not like each other?
I don't really know much about that. I mean, I grew up in the Imperium. There were not a lot of dwarves. I don't even know if I've ever met one.
I'm always so sure. That's always been the thing. But, yeah, okay. This place is weird, but cool.
As you enter that room, you see a hallway leading to the left to a room that is just completely dark. No torches or anything. It looks like there's a couple torches burning in here. So the lights you all see on the map are not currently all lit. There's the 2 torches at the front on the right-hand side by that hallway are currently lit, kind of casting a dim orange light. And then through this hallway over here, you see just a light glow of like what looks like a flickering fireplace maybe coming from around the corner. And you see what looks like maybe the silhouette of an individual moving in that area that you can't quite see. It's like they're kind of walking around the fire, and you see their shadow kind of occasionally flash onto the wall as they pass by what looks like an open arch or a doorway or something.
And it's like grabs you and pushes you behind him.
Huh?
Somebody's in there.
Do you want to see him?
I mean, we should probably know who it is.
Yep, I agree.
I just crack the box open ever so slightly, and 3 little flickers come out and circle around us and turn into those big orange, big-nosed fellas that
They
and they just start
spinning.
glowing with like an orangish yellow light.
You illuminate the entire room, and like I said, the carvings now become very, very clear to you. It's beautiful, beautifully ornately carved, basically untouched by time. Whereas like the more natural elements, the stuffing in the mattress and everything that you're sleeping on definitely had decayed over the some 1,000 of years since this ruin was probably made. The stonework
With a waterbed.
the stonework looks like it's not been touched at all. The lights kind of circling around you. The individual by the fire, or whoever's silhouette it is you're seeing, doesn't appear to notice, and you hear the sound of what sounds like clanging pans. You sound like the sound of someone scraping like glass or something, maybe putting something around, moving some stuff in, and like just general kind of shuffling about. Doesn't seem all that menacing off the start of your head.
We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna, quietly as I can, walk up to the door and just try and slide it open, like very slowly, making as little sound as possible so that I can just get a peek in.
No door. Roll me a stealth check.
Oh.
Though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the Three Stooges, like, with Gregory below me.
Johnny.
God damn. So as you kind of pull your head around the side, your chainmail just kind of scrapes on the stone a little bit that was exposed, and you just hear a voice coming from inside. As you look, you see it's not a door, but just an archway, like a very simple archway. The only doors you've seen in this place were the 3 on the bedrooms. And you see a familiar figure, kind of hunched over, looking like he's moving a little sorely. Purple skin, large horns. And as you kind of drag the chainmail along the wall, you see his head perk up. And you just see him look over his shoulder, and you see the face of Ilsevere, your brother. Large scar, just a huge scar right across his cheek.
Oh, buddy.
Stanislav pokes his head fully out from around the corner.
We really need to work on that sneaking thing, brother.
I know, it's not my strong suit.
He's even gotten better in the small time I've gotten to know him, but maybe.
The evidence would argue the contrary. Come in.
Yeah.
Have a bite to
How
eat.
does
And he
he
turns.
Physically compared to the last time I saw him.
Still quite frail, but doesn't like.
Be carrying himself.
His skin actually has like a color to it. It looks like he's been well fed the past 2 or 3 days or so. It definitely, like, based on the way his wound is sealed or like closed up, it looks like it's probably a couple days after you guys fought.
I'm just gonna walk up to him and.
It's good to see you,
brother.
I was worried.
Give him a big hug.
You guys didn't wake up for like 2 or 3 days, and well, I was starting to worry. I figured I'd make some breakfast, bring it in, maybe you guys would wake up.
2 or 3 days.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Let's just say you guys took some pretty big hits out there. Mantuka especially, and your other weird friend, that one. He had a bit of a rough go of it as well, but I think Mantuka got the rest, or the worst of it.
So should we let him sleep, or?
I would very much recommend it. I also wouldn't recommend touching him for a while. Most of his first 2 layers of skin were burnt off in the explosion, so he's a little sensitive right now, a little crispy.
A small shit-eating grin appears on Stanislav's face. Does that mean he doesn't have any fur left?
Mantuka, roll me a percentile, please.
Chris,
I'm so sorry.
Chris, you chaotic, beautiful son of a bitch.
You
have no idea how much this means to me. Peter, you have no idea how much this means to me to see you become hairless again.
We don't know.
Again!
Okay. No, he's like, Ilsevere looks, he's a little bit patchy. I'd say like probably around half.
Rocco!
Ryan is so excited about this.
This means something so personal to me. This is not the first time this has happened to me.
Let's.
Oh,
okay. All right.
This is like a trip down memory lane. This is how me and Peter became friends.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so about 43% of your fur was burnt off, Mantuka. So you got a couple
Mostly in the
patches.
chestal area.
Yeah, that's like the chest took the brunt of that. You basically fell on a grenade that then engulfed you with fire.
Nice. We'll be able to see his nipples now.
You always could.
Oh.
Like reverse, like it looks like chest hair, but in the reverse. Like, it's like that.
Oh, we hate that.
And they were like always lactating as I move, like a little bit, just a little bit. Every third step, a little bit.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Every
one.
third
I don't like that one bit.
Male Minotaur's lactate, get over it.
That's how I pace it out.
Come come and eat already before you get any skinnier. And he hands you a couple plates. Looks like he was kind of just sauteing up like some vegetables. There's nothing too fancy, but like it looks like fresh produce, and you're a little confused by that. You like
Where did you get this?
Perhaps you should just eat, and it's easier to show you than it is to try to explain. Take your time. You haven't eaten in 3 days. Trust me. Take your time. You'll throw up. Relax.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Oh
Start
yeah.
eating it one bite at a time instead.
Besides, I have to clean up, and I'm going to bring little plate in for Mintuka just in case he wants a little snack.
Has anyone done any like healing on him yet, or have we just been wrapping?
Oh, so much. There's only
Okay.
so much you can do when someone takes a fireball at like 3-inch distance, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
As-
shit.
as
So
long as
much
we were-
ointment. So much
Yeah.
ointment.
We have gone through just so much of the poultice. We are starting to run low.
We have a sponsorship from St. Ives.
Yes, aloe vera.
Aloe vera.
Oh, okay. As long as that's just, as long as we weren't just wrapping him and hoping for the best. I know that sometimes is all we can do.
We'll go with that.
Listen-
Yes, yeah, yes, sure.
Listen, if he's pussing or bleeding or doing anything like that, you come get me, and I
pick up the box.
I mean,
I'll
you're
do
perfect.
something.
You're perfectly magical capable. I mean, you go on in if you're brave enough. Bring plate. And he hands
I'll-
you a plate of food, so very similar to the one he handed you, but it's like piled high. It is a minotaur-sized plate of fried greens. Like it's just very basic.
Oh,
Very
okay,
basic food.
Let's just, I understand sometimes wrapping them in cloth is all you can do, but I'll give it a shot.
I go, dropping a little bit every time I take
Yeah,
a step.
it's pretty heavy, but you go and the Severe comes with you and slides the door open. A little heavy, you get used to it. He kind of puts his hand on your back as you go in. Like I said, do not touch the skin.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bandage off just to get a look at what I'm dealing with.
It's like sticky. They clearly like
Oh,
had applied the poultice or the
Yeah.
ointment or whatever to his wounds, and like the bandages are definitely sticking to it a bit.
Oh,
Go ahead, roll me a medicine check if you want to.
He's just bacon. Go.
If you fuck me up with your shitty fucking medicine roll, just say.
At one point, you're like trying to inspect, and your thumb definitely hits the skin a little. Mantuka jerks for a second, but goes right back to sleep, falls into his
Sorry,
slumber again.
buddy.
It looks like he was extremely badly burnt. Like he was, whereas the rest of you were like put down by varying degrees of magic and physical attacks. This is like close range trauma. He's looking rough, and he's more or less covered head to toe in bandages at this point. But you, with that medicine check, it's not quite good enough to pick out what it is, but you haven't seen natural remedies made this way before. This is new to you. This is effective in a way that you're unfamiliar with. Like this is some kind of ancient remedy or something. Not quite high enough to pick out what it is.
Whatever this is, it's all natural, right? It all came from the earth.
Oh, I mean, it'd be hard for us to find anything coming from the elves that did not come from the earth.
Hmm.
Like I said, it is easier for me to show you than try to explain everything that's happened in the last 3 days. Come with me.
Right.
Once he's you want to do something for the pain, perhaps you can help him along a little bit. But all he needs is rest. He can wake up whenever he's ready, and that's about it.
All right. Well, before I go to bed, I'll try. I don't know, maybe doing like a pain relieving thing.
Dan
Yeah.
has come over at this point as well.
I cast
definitely-
ibuprofen.
I can if he has
Morphine at 5th level.
if he's diseased from his wounds, I can definitely help with that.
Oh, good,
But,
good.
yeah.
Okay, we'll make sure that you get better, buddy. Whew.
I also can cure sexually transmitted infection.
That's good to know.
Very. You hear Elsevier from the door. Yes, that has proven very useful many times.
Stan slapped his shoots him kind of a look.
Obviously, I'm joking. You had those powers after we left. Learn to take joke.
Learn take joke.
Learn take joke.
Okay, there's a lot to process right now, but I guess you were gonna try and explain some of it. Let's see it.
Let's start with where are we?
That's a good first question.
As we close the door back up.
Again, easier to show you.
I figured.
Okay, come with me.
Demons.
Mantuka,
Demons.
you do feel them kind of taking care of you, jumping in and out of consciousness a little bit. Are you remaining asleep, or are you rising from your slumber a little bit as you feel people beginning to prod you and cast magic on you and stuff?
I'll rise. I'll rise.
All rise, motherfucker.
So how much do I remember of everything that's transpired of the last encounter?
Everything up to the moment that you had a fireball go off in your face and then said, "At least I killed you first."
Cool.
After that, everything is black. But you remember the defining moment of that fight when you pushed the axe blade of your halberd through her chest and into the ground, basically severing everything from about the rib cage down. And that's when her pendant exploded as her last little bit of life left her body.
So I'm gonna be in my little fucking cement bed with my blanket.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna kind of like open one eye and then see familiar faces, and then I'm gonna wake up and yeah,
buddy.
another one.
As you move and start stretching, you are racked with just agonizing pain. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh god.
You can add +4 to this.
Hopefully I don't need it, but I will add that.
Okay.
16.
You immediately, as you stretch, you feel the scabs on your burns kind of start tearing. It's brutal. You manage to like resist the urge to pass out. Like you see like a flash of white as you are just racked with pain. You kind of have to steady yourself on the bed, and then you stand, and the pain kind of fades away, and you're mobile, you're alive, but you're gonna be pretty tender for a couple days, I think.
Y'all ever stand up out of bed and almost go see Jesus?
Yeah.
Same.
Several
I'm
times.
gonna
yeah, I've been
I'm
there.
gonna put 10 points of layout. I'm gonna find like I'm gonna probably touch like his foot or something and put 10 points of lay on hands in for some pain relief.
Okay.
And also, we'll see if any of that can remove diseases that he has, if he has any.
So you're putting healing into my iron hooves?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, it's good
Goes into
enough.
your whole
It's part of you at this point. You do
I don't
feel,
have to touch the wound.
while you don't regain any life points or HP per se, you do feel as Stanislav touches you and casts this kind of healing magic on you, do feel a little bit of pain relief. Like it still hurts. You're still very tender. Picture the worst sunburn you've ever had, and then double it twice. That's where you're at.
Go boating for 6 hours in 30 degrees without sunscreen in a cloudless day.
I can't even go out in the fall without sunscreen. I'm ginger as fuck. Doesn't work that way for me. But you are up, you are standing, you see the familiar faces of Stanislav and Gregory and Ilsevere standing in the doorway looking at you, kind of leaning, smiling. Glad to see you're doing better, big one.
I'm winner! Oh.
Move
You
with
sure
much
are.
caution there, buddy. You're a little rough.
You did it though. Big winner.
Praise Mogus.
Yes.
Praise Mogus.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not-
buddy.
Apparently you were quite impressive, my large friend. Unfortunately, much like your allies here, I was not able to witness the event myself. I have heard the story several
what happened?
times. What happened?
I mean,
What- Ask him.
I'm looking at Mantuka.
Do you remember when oh no, you were unconscious. And
Yeah.
Gregory, no. Okay,
Mhm.
so it was either save you with none of the abilities I didn't have, or rush the bitch. So
And
I rushed
Pretty
the
obvious
bitch.
choice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I missed a lot. I hit a little, but the ones that I did hit made it count. Long story short, end up on top of her, gouged my halberd into her as she was ripping off this talisman, and I got burned. I got burned real bad, but I woke up, and I'm here with you. It's a good day.
Oh, buddy! I like walk 2 steps forward for a hug and just freeze.
I put my hand on your shoulder too.
Yeah, but, yep. You did it! Praise Mogus!
Adolescent Gregory, and give him a big like lathery like hug from all this like lubriderm. Like,
Yeah, you feel as
substance.
like as he pulls you in for the hug,
Knobs.
a very wholesome moment. You feel like the bandages, like I said, have been soaked in this kind of like burn ointment. You feel it's quite damp and kind of sticky.
It smells cool though. It
It
smells,
smells-
like earthy.
Yeah, it's very earthy. Like
Peppermint.
it is pungent. It is uncomfortable on the nostrils. There's probably some eucalyptus in there. You're not sure. Something got all
Here's
mixed
out
together.
my nostrils though. Damn.
Yeah, no, your
Mindful.
sinuses are clear. Okay, crystal clear.
Just like digging him into my nipple and my lactating nipple,
Well, I
taking 3 steps every time.
okay.
Honestly, you calling me adolescent Gregory meant more to me than any level up.
You did ascend into manhood during our off-stream game. This is true.
Mhm.
I need to get that edited on YouTube, like stat. I've just
Oh,
been
it was
having
so cute.
been having some trouble with it. I will get the editing done and get that uploaded. So, as you're kind of standing there, Ilsevir's just leaning, watching this reunion, smiling a little bit. Are you ready? Or you want to waste more time?
No.
I give him a little push on the shoulder.
What I'm saying, we're in hurry. Everyone has places to go. It's not like we're living underground or anything. And he starts walking out and just turns around the corner.
I love
Not like we all almost died or anything. And as
But you
I'm following
didn't. Yeah. And you kind of make your way out. He leads you down that right hallway you see on the map here. And you guys get to see the next map that I made.
Ooh.
I'm obviously still armored up, but I've reslung the axe and
Yeah, okay.
everything.
Definitely makes sense. So,
Making this video.
you guys come out...
Focus, please.
Yeah, no, so you guys come out basically right here where this little cliff is with the 10 feet path in the middle. There's a little cavern entrance there. I couldn't make it show up as
What,
much as
over
I
here?
want. No, down here. Where
Top.
my red pig. You guys are at the very bottom level of this thing right now.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Yeah, so basically there's like a 10-foot cavern entrance that comes out this way. And like there are 2 sandstone doors very similar that are kind of slid open on the ground. You see like these marks in the sandstone from where they've opened and just gouged out. And you're one more down. There you go. You're down here. You emerge on either side of you. There's these buildings, both carved right into the side of this kind of sandstone cliff. Very like, I don't even know how to describe it, honestly.
Indiana Jones in the like when they find the temple where the Holy Grail is.
Sure.
And it's
Yeah.
but it's
Kind of.
completely underground, but it's like this massive carved thingy, but not
Kind of.
not one large one, a whole bunch of other small.
Yeah, so looking around, it looks like you're in a cavern that probably occurred naturally, but you see these houses that have been carved unnaturally from the sides of these walls. You look
That's
up
so
and
cool.
see a roof towering like hundreds of feet above you, eventually just disappearing into darkness beyond any of what your dark vision can see, except for a small point of light that looks like it might be just kind of making its way in from a crack in the side of the mountain or somewhere up there, and a little bit of daylight is getting through. It's just casting a very dull glow. Still not enough to make out every darkened corner of this base, but you basically stand on like this spiral winding pathway that is half made with like stairs that have been carved and just like a half natural incline, and these houses are carved out of the rock all the way up in this kind of screw-like or cylindrical almost cavern. You notice a number of doors. The thing that's go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Stanislav just takes a big clap in this huge cavern. See what it'll sound like.
You clap
Yeah.
your hands together and you hear it just begins reverberating off of all the walls, and then it just dissipates over time. The thing you notice as you clap now and your eyes settle in front of you is this kind of waterway here. You see a ladder that kind of descends down into this, like looking down, it looks like a tidal pool almost. That's mostly empty at this point. There's a little bit of water, enough that there is a pair of boats still able to float that have been tied to the side of the rock here on a couple of hooks like that. Looks like they've been carved right into the rock themselves. Like literally they carved out a hook from the side of the stone. I'd say history check. What's up, Stanislav?
Is the water moving?
It's kind of gently lapping as like an under. It's not under. What's the word I'm looking for? It's has a tide, has a flow to it. Like there's waves that can occasionally make.
But
their
it's
way
not
in.
like there's not like a very clear entrance
not.
of water and a very clear exit type of thing.
There is a very clear entrance. So under these stairs on the right here, you can see that kind of blackened area. I need to find like a better thing to have caves show on this to make it stand out a little more. But like everything under that stairs on the left side is open. Like this is just an open expanse down here that these boats are tied into. That looks like it flows out towards the north side of the entrance into this massive cave.
That's cool.
Stanislav's kind of in awe of this place.
Roll me a
Oh,
Stanislav rolled a history. Gregory and Mantuka as well.
I will roll that for you with so much zeal.
I'm too busy just kind of like
Oh yeah.
staring.
It's not good.
Okay.
You don't want
You
it.
guys don't recognize the boats at all. It's nothing you've seen around the Imperium before. It doesn't look like the boats that pirates use on their ships as like their rowboats or anything. They're elegant. They're finely carved from wood. They have almost filigree on them, like there's carvings into them. They look very naturally made. You don't know much more. And you hear a voice behind you as you're kind of looking down, asking about the boats. You hear Severe. Well, they did mention the elves, didn't they?
Oh.
Oh.
Appears that we have some help.
What? Right,
Interesting.
right. Help. Right, but wait. Have you seen Val?
Your tiefling friend,
Yeah.
probably upstairs.
Oh.
Where most of
Good.
them.
Great.
Most of the people prefer to settle a little higher up, where it's a little more open, a little less compact down here. But that's the space you just left. No one is using
Settle.
it. Settle. Yes.
You're all living here.
So are you now? He gestures to the hallway you just walked down.
We live there now?
If you want. No one else does. Not for thousands of years.
Hubbub. I haven't had.
I'm
a
like
room in a while.
47% bandage. I should get it away from the water.
That's probably a good idea. Let's climb up.
I would say maybe nice dip would feel good. Probably not in ocean water. Not good idea.
Oh.
And like it becomes apparent to you now as you walk in and you really take a moment to smell the air that you are near the ocean. This is salt water. It is.
Oh
It
my
is-
god.
This whole cave just smells like ocean. Like it is.
This place would be my paradise.
Same. That's
Which-
why I designed it.
Which coast are we on, brother?
Eastern coast of the Imperium, just in the mountains, north of Nisal. We didn't go very far, believe it or not. I feel like perhaps I'm not the best one to explain this all to you, though. I was unconscious when they brought me here, too.
Fair. Well, I
I'm a
mean,
little
Okay.
better off than you all.
Let's climb up and see. Or is
Yeah.
there climbing? How do we get up?
You take the
Ropes.
stairs, and he points to the
There's
stairs. So on the northern side of each of this, where basically it completes one turn, there's a flight of stairs that goes up about 20 feet, and it continues on another pattern going around. And that happens twice. So there's about
Cool.
3 levels in this place.
like a big
and as-
spiral, right?
Yeah, as you go up you guys are at the lowest, and you're basically going up like that. As you guys begin to climb the stairs and see more and more of these buildings, you start to see people. Some people you recognize from your time in Adrock. Some you know better than others. Probably just know most of them in passing. A few surviving members of the Hushroot tribe that have survived, and quite a few people that do not look like warriors. These are like a fair amount of people who did not fight in that battle with you.
Oh.
Yeah, no, these look like people who escaped while you guys were busy doing battle. These are the people
Nice.
you saved. And as you get to the top level, you go all the way around. You notice on your left as you're passing this large cavern that looks like it would descend a little deeper, kind of heading downwards into the side of the rock. It has completely caved in. It is impassable. There's the rocks piled all the way from floor to the very ceiling of that cavern, and you're not sure how deep they are because you just can't see, but it is completely blocked off. There's a few rocks on the floor that looks like maybe some people have been starting to try to move them, but they are big, they are dense, and they are very heavy. And you gather, while the Hushroot are very, very strong, or very gifted warriors, their strength is more their nimbleness and dexterity as opposed to their pure brutish strength. So it looks like they've been struggling a little bit clearing this cave-in, but looks like they've started. You continue along, and like all of these little doors and nooks in the side appear to be inhabited. There's lights. You hear people talking. Sometimes you hear children laughing and carrying on. It looks like people have
There's
actually
a whole life happening here.
begun to settle in. And he takes you to this square chamber here up on the top, which Gregory is immediately familiar to you. The other two, you're seeing something like this for the first time. You walk in.
Would you say up here to the left?
Yep, you go into that room. And as you enter, you find, yet again, another square room. There's benches on either side, kind of pointed all towards this massive silver basin in the middle of the room. Gregory, it is almost identical to the one that you saw in the ruins of Adra.
Oh.
And as you look up to the roof, which even here, is probably about 20, 30 feet high. It is a huge vaulted ceiling with a big curve on either side. There is what looks like a trap door, or some kind of device that would open, allowing light to shine down from the sky above. There's like an actual skylight here, but it appears to be either sealed shut or just closed for the time being. But this is very reminiscent of the basin that you saw in the ruins of Adrock underneath the great telescope that you found.
There's an audible like, but I keep it to myself for now.
As you let out that little squeak for a second, you see a number of people just all turn to you. They're kind of sitting around, some leaning on the walls, talking. First thing you do is recognize a few familiar figures. You see Valzir.
Ah!
Gregory, your friend, he's leaning like this, got his arms crossed. He's silent in this. You gather he doesn't have a lot to say, but he's keeping an eye on things and just kind of watching this all go down. You see Furo, the elf or the half elf who helped lead the rebellion, basically was the voice behind starting it before you all ever arrived. You see Orlyle, his father,
Nice.
or his uncle. It's his uncle. I apologize. His uncle sitting there.
Yeah.
His arm just kind of not quite in a cast, but bandaged and then slinged over his shoulder. Looks like he got hurt pretty bad in the fight. He's an old man. You're surprised he was fighting at all, but he went out there and he threw down. But the things that really stand out here are the 3 figures standing in this room, clad head to toe in the most magnificent armor you have ever seen in your life. Elvish, long pointed ears, long flowing hair of bright color, red, blonde, brown. Beautiful, immaculately made armor. It appears like they're only wearing a light kit for now. This is not full elven battle attire. It is kind of simple elvish chainmail, very similar to what the Hushroot wear, but you can tell it is made with just so much more quality. And even the forges in which they was produced is probably far superior to what the Hushroot were working with in their little jungle.
Generations of thousands of years of life.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a
gone into
history
that
check.
armor crafting.
Go ahead and roll me a history check, both of you, or all 3 of you.
Yeah, history. Not
See
my
how-
forte.
How flabbergasted am I by the beauty? Not very.
Fuck
Gregory,
armor.
you pick up pretty quick. They're elves. They have fancy armor. Nothing new there for Stanislav or Mantuka. Gregory, on the other hand, this comes as a deep surprise to you. Coming from where you've seen the forces of the Elven Enclaves on several occasions. They have an ongoing partnership with Whitethorn. They trade frequently. The very king of your country is married to the daughter of the leader of the Elven Conclave,
Used
themselves.
to be in all the parades.
Yep, you've seen this armor before. These are envoys for the Elven Conclave.
Out of the Shadewood, right?
Yep.
I just nudge Stan and I just mouth the words.
Big deal. Huge.
I'm standing right here, adolescent Gregory. I am a big deal. The bandages, they say how big I am.
They do. They sure do, buddy.
You notice one of the
Big
elves,
things get burned a lot.
as you say
And they
that,
sure do.
one of the younger looking elves, who's wearing, like, while the others have the chainmail on, this individual appears to be wearing, like, kind of a studded leather. Still very natural looking. And he looks over at Mantuka. Oh, you look like you're doing better.
I feel better. I look like a fucking shaved ball sack, but I feel better.
I'm glad you feel better. You're welcome. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about the hair loss. If you're lucky, it'll grow back.
Yeah, but I can look around like a ball, like your balls, like.
Greg's
It's
just
off
standing
putting.
mortified.
I think that
The
this
elf just
gentleman here
raises
might
an
be the
eyebrow at
reason-
you.
Might be the reason that we're all currently alive still. So I think thanks is in order.
That would be your allies there, and you see Orlyle and Bureau just kind of looking at you, smiling.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good to see you all
Yeah.
alive.
Yes, thank you. But also, he turns and looks at you guys. Fuck you guys, thank me, and turns back.
You see the old man pipe up.
Don't make me hug you, big guy.
Yes, you were quite magnificent out there.
Oh my god, I love Mantuka.
So I've heard.
Either we
I
all
wish-
die or we all make friends. You're welcome. We made friends.
Well, friends it is then.
What a beautiful saying.
To what do we owe the honor? He says to the elves.
The young one looking at you still. Well, generally when our allies ask for help, we tend to show up. When the Hushroot got word to us that, well, there'd been a mass escape, and you all had come here, or at least some of you had, we wasted no time. We've already escorted several boatloads of you to safety.
That's much appreciated.
Incredible.
And that whole thing was never really the plan, but
Yeah, so what
How it turned
happened?
out.
What happened there exactly? Do explain to me the
Well-
events that led to that, because they've told me their side, and well, I'm curious to hear yours.
so what? Us being captured and sent there in the first place, or
Tell me the
breaking
whole
out?
the whole story. What
Life
in your right
choices.
mind made you think it would be a good idea to explode the walls of a prison camp and free thousands of slaves from Imperium chains?
That was we didn't plan that. That was our brilliant yet unhinged
Diversion!
friend. Mr.
Brilliant
Maker,
isn't the
who's
word I would use,
still
but
back asleep.
if nothing else, it was effective.
I mean, yeah.
At this point, the elf in kind of the front looks a little older, a little more seasoned. There's like just little flecks of gray in his brown hair. Yes, we see, when they got in contact with us, we set sail immediately. Brought you food, medical goods, and like my friend said, already escorted several of you to safety. But full disclosure, you have set events in motion that cannot be undone.
What?
That was the single largest act of war on Imperium soil since the War of the Bloodleaf 200 years ago.
Oh, jeez. I didn't think about that.
You lit a fire under the Imperium's ass, literally a half-day's ride from its very capital. What did you think would happen?
We didn't. Oh, jeez.
Gregory just sits down on the floor.
Oh, jeez.
No. Understand. We're not upset with you. You gave us exactly the excuse we needed to raise our banners and sail here. Full disclosure, while we're using this as a way to ferry your people to safety, we're also using it as a staging point. As far as we can tell, the Imperium does not know this place exists. We will funnel men in here for the next few days, weeks if we need to, and from here we will begin a conquest that will see every chain removed from the necks of those under the Imperium's might.
Whoa.
Now that's something that I could get behind.
We were hoping as such. being that you, well, whether you want to be or not, whether it was your plan or not, well, I don't suppose you managed to catch a glance at how all those people outside were looking at you when you made your way up here, did you?
I mean, not really. I was kind of in awe of the place itself.
Yeah. It's beautiful here.
Everyone who's here is here because of you. The actions your party, your group took to free them. So like it or not, you're figureheads for the rebellion now.
I always wanted to be the Mockingjay. Stanislav looks kind of like... Stanislav looks kind of shocked, but also like...
T-Cat, who do you want to give to Gregory? You get an inspiration from T-Cat. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. There you go. What's up, Liz? How's it going? Serious Rusty.
Burn with us.
They used to
love
sing
Serious
that
Rusty.
song to me at
Oh my
Bible
God.
camp nonstop because,
not Bible
Oh, God.
camp.
because Ryan from The Office, that whole thing.
Oh no, dude.
You opened up a little background there on me, T. Kitty. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Ryan started the fire.
Ah! I'm having flashbacks to Bible camp.
No, we don't want that, dude. The
Oh, the Lord
PTSD.
is good to
Bury
me,
it.
and
No,
so I
no,
give
no,
it
no,
up.
no.
For giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apples. I also went to Bible camp.
I did too.
Purge the demons, Chris. Purge the demons.
I got my 80 religious in chat.
We
I
just
wanna...
completely ruined a very serious moment.
Yeah, it was I've worked up to this moment for months. 35 sessions have led to this point. And so
It's
far, we've
beautiful.
gone through Hunger Games to Bible camp. I love it. I
I'm
love it.
being
love this
good.
game.
Just
I know,
so-
for once, Peter, you're holding it down.
I make it better.
I'm being good. I'm a good
And
boy.
we're back. Like I said, whether you like it or not, you're important. And what you choose to do with that responsibility is your choice. I think you'd be foolish to waste it.
But
No. Not really one to run from something like that.
Lad.
Stanislav is kind of taking in the implications of all this. A little shocked.
Bill Severe's standing behind you, kind of leaning on one of the walls by the entryway, just kind of observing. I can't force you to do anything you don't want to do. But I can tell you that you've done more for these people than anyone has in their lifetime.
Well, those people, some of them were born in there. I mean, awful.
He looks at Gregory, kind of struggling with all this. You all right?
I look over at Stan.
Stan, you spent so long captured like that. And then you turned right around and stared the same people right back in the face. I don't know if I can do that again. I can't. That was the worst month of my life.
Surprisingly, it gets easier the second and third and fourth time.
Adolescent Gregory, don't
Yes.
worry. You have many, many months of absolutely shitty life ahead of you. It doesn't escape you. Welcome to adulthood. Just shitty life events.
Oh.
Now it's time for me and my ointment, so come over here and help where I can't reach.
Right. Shitty life obligations.
It
You have
doesn't get any
flashbacks
better,
of
you just
ointmenting
stop
Mantuka's
dying.
massive ass cheeks.
You can only do one at a time.
Oh no! We hate
What's the
that.
saying? It takes a village.
It takes a village to rub
You
ointment
rub
on
Mantuka's
Mantuka's
ointment
ass.
in.
Yeah, that's the
Get
saying.
the Ben's gay too. I'm crapping up over here.
You do not want to put Ben Gay on a burn. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I'll tell you that right now.
Gold bond.
You don't
Bad
know
idea.
what a minotaur likes.
That's
He's into
fair.
that. No
That's
kink
fair.
shame.
I might kink shame a little. Just a little bit.
Not here to
Little
kink
smidge.
shame, just kink ask why.
That's a good point.
That's
I like that.
I like that.
That's good.
That also agree.
Well, as you guys are like sitting there joking around about rubbing Mantuka with ointment and everything, you see the elves kind of like looking amongst each other, and then one like leans over to Orlyle. He's like, "Now you're sure these are the people you want at the head of the rebellion?" The old man kind of looks at him. He's like, "What choice do we have?" The elf's like, "Well,
Stanislav kind of snaps back.
we've done more with
Sorry,
less.
If you had a manservant, you'd have him apply lotion as well.
We've had
That's
many."
minotaurism.
Look, I'm just saying,
Tourism.
if you need to
What
apply
do you-
lotion, perhaps do it on your own time.
Well, what do you ask of us? I mean, what do we need to do? I've never been a leader before.
Mhm.
Can't tell you what to do. I don't know these people. I don't know this land. I've never stepped foot here before today. What do you think you need? How can you help these people? Remember, leading isn't always about going to the fight. It's about making the lives of your people as easy as they can, whenever you can. What can you do to make these people's lives easy? For now, till things get rolling further. Think about that. And when the time comes for more drastic action to be taken, we'll let you know. In the meantime, if you can think of anything, well, you're free. Do with that what you will.
Free. Yeah. Oh.
In the meantime, we'll be here for another few days. We need to see to it that you're all well supplied enough to at least make a home of this place, and need to ensure that those we've taken have found safety.
This is all very, very generous of you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mm-hmm.
We're not in it for you. We'd be lying if we said we were. Look around.
I understand.
And you see, like, all, like, this room is mostly elves at this point. Like, there's an abundance of elves in this group. Like, you knew that. The main force behind the rebellion of freeing that camp, had Mr. Maker not come in and blown the fucking wall up, you would have had a lot more time to interact with these individuals. However, things happened very, very fast when Mr. Maker is given explosives.
Make your brand.
That's my bad.
He wasn't
That is my-
given explosives. He fucking took them for himself.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. That's valid.
Mr. Maker wants something, you can't say no.
He slapped that maker brand's maker symbol on that
He
son
did.
of a bitch.
He absolutely did.
Well, you've certainly given us a lot to think about.
You decide this isn't what you want. There's a spot on those boats for you. But now is the time to choose. You have a couple days. At most.
Well, for me, this is easy.
You're a warrior. He's a child. He looks at Gregory, who's...
Adolescent! He got upgraded. He leveled up.
I look
Get a
up at
birthday.
Mantuka and it just a little smile creeps up and just
Wherever these two go.
He had his day of birth in jail.
Right.
You did have a prison birthday.
Valzir kind of like hears that. You didn't tell me it was your birthday.
I was kind of in a headspace, not productive to party.
All right, well, how about you come with me then, little one? And
but-
your good friend Valzir comes over and basically scoops you up. Like, doesn't really give you much
but
choice.
you-
You're having a drink on me, kiddo. And he just carries you out of the
Like
out
a
of the
potato
room.
sack over
Yeah,
the shoulder.
basically potato sack.
as I'm being carried out, I'm just pointing at Mantuka and Stan and
Whatever they decide to do, that'll be my decision.
They won't be making
Well,
any decisions
lots of
today,
fun,
little buddy.
birthday
He
sack.
gives you a little pat on the back. He's a child.
Okay.
He takes you outside and like
6 p.m. now.
doesn't take long. He leads you along this upper path, kind of towards this exit over here, and that's where we'll leave you for now. Meanwhile, the elves kind of fall back into some conversation with Furo and Orlyle, and you guys are basically left. You can observe, but what do you want to do with your time while you're here? It looks like you got a little bit of time to do some stuff with. What's going on?
I would have wanted to ask before we left. Are
Right.
we? How do we get out of here? Is the cave currently trapped in?
No, not exactly. There's one way out. Recommend waiting till low tide, unless you're a very, very strong swimmer.
I see. Well, I mean, once I regain my strength, I can work on getting the cave entrance open at least a bit.
We're curious about that. We know from our histories that this was a much larger settlement than this, so that must go somewhere. Rumor has it it's the resting place of someone very, very important. But
You know who?
no, I do not. But if there's answers, they'll be back there. And to be honest,
Seems
what
like
we
somewhere
need
to
right
start.
now is answers. We need to know how we can gain the upper hand on the Imperium, if there's anything we could use against them, if there's anything they could use against us. We need to know the best ways to go about invading the single most powerful military on the continent.
I do have one. Go ahead, Peter.
What's up, Mantuka?
Would you allow me to commune with Mogus? I just want to. My intent is to commune with him to get to see if this is a good idea, like moving stones of someone's potential resting place, unknown entity, just a little vibe check, good idea, bad idea.
Are you saying you want an insight check, or you actually want to try to talk to your god?
I want to commune with him because I've been doing good stuff lately.
Do you have
So I
the
just wanna
commune spell?
I've got a really good imagination.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to know.
I feel the essence of my god through everything I do.
Okay.
I don't have that spell.
I know you don't. You don't have any spells. You're a barbarian. That
That's
was a
lie. He
rhetorical
has
question. He has Scorching
Scorching
Ray
Ray.
because of his circlet. His little
Yes,
tiara.
tiara.
His tiara. I love Mantuka with a tiara. I fucking love that. Okay.
So much.
How do I... either religion or persuasion. Roll me one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Or
Let's see
intimidation.
here.
You can do intimidation too.
Oh, okay. These are all not very good.
I don't
what's
know
the
what
first
else to
one?
go with. It was religion, intimidation, or persuasion.
Athletics.
Could you imagine?
Like to set up a
Yeah.
godly obstacle course.
They're all plus
Flex-
0,
just
so let's
flex
do
hard
this.
enough.
How's a 4 feel?
You take a second while these individuals are talking around you. Stanislav's discussing with the elf. You just focus, and you're like, Mogus, come to me. Mogus, strength, honor, power, conquering, enslavement, power. And you just to the rest of you still in this room with them, it just looks like Mantuka's starting to flex really hard under all his bandages. And then Mantuka, you kind of wince from the pain as you tense again, as the burns kind of drag on the bandages underneath you. You feel deep, deep in your core, in your heart, in your soul, that there is no way on this earth Mogus would object to you doing anything in your power to cause more war. Do with that what you will. In terms of whether or not you should move rocks and excavate this site, you're not sure. You interpret that however you want, but you know inside, Mogus wants you to conquer. Mogus wants you to kill. Establish your superiority over your enemies. And if fucking clearing this place out and building this into a literal underground city is the way to do it, you figure he'd be okay with it.
Sounds
Dad,
like
you know what I
a-
accelerate at? Lifting heavy things and putting them down. And I'm gonna child in diaper snowsuit waddle over to
Hey.
where the stones are and
Let it happen.
start moving.
You guys stare. Okay. Roll me an athletics check.
Yes.
And then a con save.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Roll an athletics check.
boy.
You're gonna
Dirty
shit yourself.
20.
Dirty 20. It didn't go through on roll 20. I hate that. It's fine. Yeah, no effort whatsoever. Like, they're big rocks, but it's more that there's lots of them and they're very compacted onto each top of each other. But you grab one from the and you begin pulling it, and some of the rocks start to shuffle, and you're like, this might not be a good idea. And then you just yank it out so fast that the others just kind of rest and doesn't seem like they can move any further. And you hold it against your chest and you're squeezing it tight. And roll me a Constitution saving throw, as your body is racked with pain yet again, head to toe, as you flex every muscle and hold this rock against your burnt chest.
How close am I to standing? Do I get us +4? Just in case. Ask
No,
for a
I'm
friend.
standing a bit of the way back in case
Cool.
the whole thing collapses.
Fuck you then.
Night is going good.
23!
Spicer, welcome in. 23, let's go. Okay, you do not puke. You do not pass out or faint, but your whole body, once again, racked with pain as you're just holding this rock kind of like strongman style against your chest. You feel it dragging on the scabs and the burn. Pretty sure there's some stuff getting bloody under there, but you just start lifting the rocks and drawing them out to the side and pulling them one by one by one. At a certain point, you start to make a sizable dent. You have no idea how deep this goes in, though. It looks like a very sizable collapse. Even as you're pulling the rocks out, you look up to where the ceiling had collapsed in from, and you can just see darkness. But you do manage to create enough of a gap to see where the initial collapse was.
Ryan, you look like you're gonna cry.
I'm in a constant state.
I apologize. So, Gregory,
I've been screaming a lot.
Valzir leads you out the front entrance here to the actual entryway. You're led into what is now like clearly a naturally made cave. This is not carved at all. The buildings in here are built from sandstone blocks that have been like stacked and actually like plastered together. They're not carved right out of the side of the buildings. And it gives you a little bit of like kind of a trade hub, a little bit of a trading hub. You can roll me a history check if you want to.
Hell yeah.
You do see around you a number of cots set up. It looks like a lot of the soldiers are kind of sleeping out here. And it looks like there's some picnic tables and like a, not quite a mess hall per se, but like a little bit of a, just like a number of picnic tables, and there's a cooking fire around, but it looks like they're kind of passing out drinks from a keg that they're sharing of very, very fancy elvish wine. 21. So, you begin to piece some things together. Over your time, while you were in the slave camp at Adrock during your research, you did learn about a few settlements. One in particular stands out to you by name, and it is Nerish. Nericsh, I think. One second, I have that written down. Nericsh, Nerish. Yeah. It was a trading hub for the Undara people that they used coastally to basically any goods that they needed to import or export. They were doing so through here. This was a literal coastal trading hub. That originally was a place you could just park your boats out and row right in during low tide and basically bring your boats up here. And this was kind of the market square where people would dock and then come up here and trade. And there looks like remnants of a tavern now where there's just people begin camping. It looks like Valzir's set up here too with some of his crew. This seems to be where he's staying. He kind of pulls you over to one of the tables. So you're a man now, is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, it's a bit. Yes, I am.
I had your birthday. Maybe they don't really make that distinction here. He grabs like a couple of the cups. You mind if we takes these? Thanks. Okay, cool. And he just like the guy like doesn't even respond. He just grabs them, grabs the jug of wine that they just poured, pours you a glass and slides it over. This is what we do in my family when we become men. We drink. Not usually wine, mind you, but it's better than nothing. Cheers.
Right. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. I did. I mean, I said I'd come back to see you after I turned, but it was just I saw you before and during. And
it doesn't matter.
Cheers.
We'll count it. And he downs the whole glass, so he's not sipping it. Like just the whole glass he just poured goes like down in an instant. Same for you. Like you taste it. It is like you've tried wine before. Your parents let you have a sip here and there type thing. You've drank with Stanislav and Mantuka a few times, but this is the best thing you've ever tasted. You know for a fact Elvish wine is very coveted, even in where you're from, where there's like actual like cultural exchange between the elves. You're the only country that they actively trade with, so you're familiar with this. You probably tasted something similar, but this is the good stuff. Val's yours.
Stanislav isn't even there or aware this is happening, and he's jealous.
I think I just became a wine snob.
Careful. People don't tend to like drinking with those.
I know. Oh, good. I'm just so happy to see you here. I just don't get.
Yeah, me too.
A lot's happened.
Yeah, you
A
can
lot's
say that
going
again. A lot is going to happen. So how do you feel about all this? I know you probably didn't plan to be at the head of all this, but people seem to look up to you guys now.
Val, you're really the only person I've kind of told about most of the stuff, at least the stuff about my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this. I kind of came out on a treasure hunting mission, and then I started a war.
I'm pretty sure this could just be me. This conflict has been brewing for centuries and probably will continue for long after we're gone if we fail at this thing. I don't think you had as much to do with it as you think. You were just the starting point.
The straw that broke the
Proverbial
horse.
camel's back, yeah.
Yeah.
I take another big swig and just.
As the glass comes down here, he just refills it as soon as the glass hits the table. He's not waiting at all.
Yeah.
Look, we got got some time to kill. There's not a lot to do down here, so drink up. He has another glass with you. Seriously, you told me when we first crossed paths, when we got to know each other, that you were out looking for rare objects, ancient mysteries, magical secrets, and look where you are.
That's true.
Between you and me, I don't think this place has been used for hundreds of years, not more. If anything,
Yeah.
someone stumbled in here and found it, I don't think they know what to do with it. And if they had, well, the Imperium probably would have begun another excavation here. As far as we can tell, we're safe.
And possibly sitting on a gold mine. That is true.
I don't know about a gold mine, but there's something deeper in there, and wouldn't hurt to know.
Exactly.
Take another big swig and just
There.
set it down.
Okay, maybe we take it slow there, kiddo.
I've been asleep for 5 days.
Yeah, have you had anything to eat since you got up?
Yeah, I ate, I think, half a carrot.
Oh, Ilsevere didn't give you one of his veggie platters, did he?
It tasted like nothing.
Yeah, if I have to eat one more goddamn veggie.
You don't boil vegetables that long. You're not supposed to, and if you do, you don't throw them anyway.
Well, we're kind of, slim pickings. I don't know if you realize this, the elves brought mostly veg. They brought only veg.
Healthy bastards.
All elves are vegan! No.
Terrible.
Is that canon in your
No,
world?
fuck no. Fuck no. They hunt. They kill things. They eat meat.
I kind of start my circling the wine glass, and I just like look over at Val, and I'm just like,
Val, can I tell you something? And you just, it's a judgment-free zone.
Sure.
I kind of need your opinion on something.
Yeah, what's up?
and I just want to kind of go just the whole the whole thing about the dream, about everything I saw, about like what should I do about that.
Oh. I'll tell you what. That's a little above my pay grade. Not
It's
really.
way above mine.
Actually, I think you're probably one of the more qualified people here to handle.
Ah, shit, I was hoping you wouldn't say
You're-
that.
You're a smart kid, Gregory, and he kind of knocks on your head a little bit, like leans across the table and gives you like a...
McFly.
Hey, I can't even read half the shit I see written
Your kid's
around
mud.
here.
I gotta.
If you were gonna tell anyone about that, I would recommend maybe your friends and maybe those guys in charge. I'm just a pair of hands around here, but it seems important. Seems like something you should probably look into. I mean, at very least, it wouldn't hurt to tell your friends about it. Maybe you can go from there.
Yep. Okay. I don't want to put too much on their plate right now, but
I'd say
right.
that at this point, there's about as much on our plates as there's ever gonna be. Now's the time to pile on.
right? Yeah, if we're gonna go for a mountain, we might as well go for the biggest. Okay.
I take another big swig and I just.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yep.
Boop. This gotta be the low one. Right?
Okay. No, you got good
yeah.
con for like. I mean, you got like that 16-year-old drinking thing, like I was doing in fucking high school. Like I could knock him back.
Yeah.
You're fine. Like you feel a buzz come on. You feel the alcohol hit your system, and there's like a palpable reaction to it. And you kind of like sway a little as you stand up, but you're merry. You're comfortable. You don't feel like you're gonna get sick or that you've overdrank. Currently, you seem to have a
Got the
handle
metabolism of a
on your
fox.
liquor. And like Valzir is looking at you, and he's kind of like surprised by how well you're taking the liquor a little bit here. He's gonna make a con save himself. He's like, "Oh, just let me. I'm gonna follow you in there." And he kind of stands up after you and just falls flat into the sand. And you notice here one thing that stands out: very soft sand floor.
Ooh.
Yeah. He
You
just
don't know
like
how
he
drunk
is.
you are until you stand up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
face down in the sand, and like you lean in to help him a little bit. You're like drunk, and stuff,
buddy.
and you just hear like a. You see like a little
Ah.
sand kind of blowing away from his mouth as he breathes out. Looks comfortable and sleeping. What are you gonna do with him?
I roll him on his side, and then I just kind of like push some of the sand so it's covering the bottom of his feet and legs.
I'm like, there we go,
Aw,
buddy.
Give him a sand blanket. That's adorable. That's so wholesome.
Tuck
I-
them in.
You get him all tucked in and everything, and he's just.
And I just like look at everyone else that's around, and I just go,
Look after him. He's
You
the
s-
first best friend I ever had.
You see some people at the table, and like you can tell immediately, like they're never gonna let him live this down. And some even come over and start burying him more. And depending
Just
how
don't
long you
Cover
stay,
his head.
depending how long you stay, by the time they're done, he is just a head sticking out of the sand.
Yes.
yes, I was hoping that would happen.
Now I gotta go see my second and third
They're
best friend.
Abs carved in the sand. Stuff
No,
like
it's
that.
very loose, dry sand. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
not quite damp enough for that. But they bury him. He's buried under sand right now, and you just like leave
There's
and
little
kind of.
rocks to make the pattern.
Yeah, you
Little
stumble.
rocks and stones.
Fair enough. Yeah. You stumble back to your group, and as you come back into that main central chamber, you like take a chance to look down. You see that the tide has started to come in a little bit, and the boats have begun to rise, and it looks like when tide is at its highest, based on like what you see on the rock, how like there's like a very clear water line. Looks like that water comes up to about a foot below where the cliff edge is, right in front of your house. You guys
Is it
got like a
very-
seaside home right now, technically speaking.
Probably not that bright, right? I can't see that good.
There are torches on all the walls in a complete circle all the way down being maintained. You can see like everything in here is, I'd say, mostly dim, fairly bright around the torches, but like the whole room is lit by dim light in all the corners. So
Like pub lighting type of shit.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah, very, very ambient mood lighting and stuff.
I just for a second look over the thing and I'm like squinting, drunk squinting, and just I reach for the box and stumble and kind of fumble with it. I'm like, damn it! And I just rub my hands together 3 times, and green sparks fly off every time. And then I just put my hands out and cast daylight down.
The whole cavern lights up. Mantuka, you're like, ah! As you're just moving these rocks, you can't see a damn thing, as you are just blinded by the most intense daylight. You guys haven't seen the light of the sun for 3 days. You've been in dim light. This is blinding. This
And
is
just for a second, and
literal
then I
blinding.
clap my hands together, and it fizzles out.
Yeah, you hear people like, ah! Like noticeably
Fuck,
react.
I can't see you, twat.
I kind of instantly sober up a little bit. I'm looking. I'm just.
I've got to learn to get this under control real fast. Let's go.
I just
Drunk casting.
I love it. And at that point, we're going to take our first break for today, folks. We only got a little bit left. We're just going to be doing some light roleplay today. Pretty low-key, exploring the space a
Yay.
little. So, I
It's so
appreciate y'all.
pretty, Pat.
Appreciate y'all
It's so
coming in.
pretty
I'm
in
very
here.
happy. I'm pretty happy with how the map came out and stuff. Yeah, it looks good.
This is sick.
It's
Love
good.
it.
So
I would literally live here if I could.
same, 100% would. We will be back in just 10 minutes here. Just gonna hit the bathroom, refill the waters and everything. Maybe smoke a little bolski. We'll see. So we'll catch y'all in a few. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute. See you in a sec. So toxic. We're back. What's up, everybody? We're just taking the piss out of Gregory today. Apparently he's just getting shit on a little
Adolescent
bit.
Gregory.
Adolescent Gregory. No longer baby Gregory, dude. It's a literal in-game level
His
up.
balls are currently, as we speak,
Descending. Yeah, descending. They're about halfway down.
Like
Looks
New
like
Year's.
my neck.
It's like-
dropping. Like a slide. There's like a slide whistle. It's like
Yeah, on your 17th birthday, they have
We're about a
descended
third.
fully. Yeah.
we're about a third of the way down. Yeah.
Oh God! Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break. I got some drink. I'm ready to go. We're gonna continue with our little session here. You guys, quick recap. You woke up in a strange subterranean home, domicile, whatever you want to call it. Mostly empty. We're quickly informed that this was kind of where the Hushroot tribe and the beginning forces of the rebellion seem to have established a stronghold and are currently living. Like, they're actively putting together a small town almost away. You guys
Deep behind enemy lines. It's pretty cool.
are informed that Ilsevere, along
Love it.
that you guys are, basically in enemy lines. Yeah, so I can actually hear. I'll show you guys exactly where you are on our main map.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah, no worries. I got you. So we go to the Imperium here. Do you see Nisal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the biggest trade port in the Imperium. Pillarstone's big, obviously, but Nisal is like its own little stopping point. You guys are basically in this little bay here. There's like an inlet.
Oh, shit.
And you are like, basically in the mountain.
like-
You are a subterranean cave. You haven't
We're
seen
like
the entrance
in their
yet.
ass.
Yeah, you haven't seen the entrance
Yeah,
yet,
we're
but
right
you were
there.
told Booty Bay, basically. You were told that it was
Booty Bay.
mostly only accessible at low
Booty
tide, unless you're a particularly strong swimmer. So that is about where you guys are located. You are informed that you are basically being given the space in which to live where you currently find yourselves, or where at least you woke up,
Aw.
being that no one else currently lives there. Like, you guys are basically granted this entire property here. However, we're gonna go back to the interior of Nirish here.
I was gonna label it Booty Bay.
Don't label it Booty Bay. It's unacceptable. It's not Booty Bay. It's its own place. Booty Bay is in a vacation resort in the Spark Peak Islands. All right, it's its own thing.
Oh, my lizard guy who I played yesterday is from there. He's probably been there.
Yeah, same with Rusty's Busty Crustaceans, which is the strip club or brothel made by JTB or Kieran. No, it was Kieran. Kieran did that one. So at some point, you guys may pass Rusty's Busty Crustaceans.
Not to be confused for the crusty bus stations of Pillarstone.
Yeah, no, those bus stations do be crusty. For
I
sure.
think
For
Greg's
sure.
just old enough to go in there now. It's fine.
You're an adult now. You can go to the titty bar. Let's go.
Yay!
Woo, downtime at the titty bar. No, okay. We're
Big
not
ol' ditty.
ever. We're not ever doing
The
that.
elven titty bar.
Fancy.
I'd go.
They know some shit. Very dexterous people, deals.
A pole dance would be like seeing God.
We've gone. We're
I remember the
descending
first
into-
time I saw God.
Was it like a couple days ago when a fucking fireball exploded 2
Name of the
inches from
Father,
your
the
face?
Son, and the...
Yeah.
I didn't jizz, I shit myself that time.
Same thing.
No lactating that day.
Oh my god, I hate my life. I need a
They
new
were
party.
singed
I
clothes.
quit. I quit. We're all oh wow. So you informed that
I
you're
had
basically
a lot of foreskin, so it protected that.
Mantuka is Jewish, confirmed.
Circumcision by fire.
I don't want to be here anymore. No!
It's like when you heat
Oh, God.
plastic.
Stop!
Oh, man.
I hate it so much. I hate everything. Okay.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I'm done. I'm over. It's over. I'm done. So, you guys made your way upstairs. Realized that Orlyle and Firo were in fact meeting with a trio of elves from the Shadewood, the Elven Conclave itself, the union of all the elves, and the last, basically, the only remaining Elven kingdom on the entire continent. Quickly had a conversation, and we're made to realize, we're nudged in the direction of realizing that perhaps your grand escape that a lot of you were at the very head of, quite visually so, may have put you in a little bit of point of power within this growing rebellion here, being that you are somewhat looked up to, not only by the warriors in the group and the soldiers and everything, but like the non-fighters, the women, the children, the people who help out around camp and keep the tribe going, basically. You guys are kind of being looked at a little bit as folk heroes in a little bit of a way there. May affect how some people feel about you. However, as you digest that you are seeing a congregation of actual Shadewood elves for the first time, Gregory leaves with his friend, mentor, and de facto father figure, Valzir, and imbibes a little bit of booze, whereas Mantuka...
Shit-faced.
Absolutely shit-faced, and bury Valzir in the sand. Whereas Mantuka, on the other hand, immediately begins going to work on the collapsed tunnel at the southwestern side of the upper levels of this place. So there are 3 levels. There's upper, middle, and lower. That's basically how it's split up. It seems like the upper level is a bit of, as you guys kind of take some time familiarizing yourself with it here, the upper level is kind of where people seem to be doing some trading. There's a mess hall up there at the that northern end of the chamber. It looks like a little bit of a mess hall and like a sleeping area for people who haven't found homes yet, or those
Imagine
who
I'll find
families.
Elsevier there often.
Elsevier is there working quite a bit. If any of you actually go in there are some individuals you can meet along the way, but it just, in terms of how it breaks down, it seems like the upper areas like food, trade, meeting places, a couple homes, and the lower you get, the more compact it all becomes, and like you have homes whereas they're a little more spread out. They're built out of the side of the mountain and quite connected. You see a few similar to yours, how there's like houses built and then a path going down the middle some 30-40 feet into the stone past where those houses are, opening up into another domicile where you guys' front door would be. That seems pretty common on the lower level in particular. What do y'all want to do? Like, what's the game plan? Mantuka, I know you're moving stone. Is that the game plan for the day? What do you want to do?
Fuck stone! I'm gonna use my circle of blasting.
Oh.
You serious? Okay.
Yeah. I'm helping.
Okay.
Trying to get us all killed.
So Gregory, you come out in your drunken state. You cast your daylight, blinding Mantuka for a moment, and as he shakes it off, in frustration, you see him kind of look to the stones he's been moving. You just see him put his arms to his fingers to his temples, as he's done several times. It becomes pretty clear, pretty fast what he's gonna do. Go ahead and roll your scorching rays.
Do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it?
You can try to stop him if you want to.
Counterspell. I counterspell it.
If you counterspell my 1 a day thing, I'm gonna hate you.
Okay, fine.
I'm just letting you know. Where the fuck is this? Hold on. Oh, okay, sorry.
Radiant damage, it might not do anything.
So am I rolling to hit the wall? Yeah?
Yeah, you're just rolling your attack rolls. This is against the AC of stone, which is low.
11.
That'll do it. You have 3.
Stone.
Roll all 3.
A 2. 10. Take that. 10 wall damage.
Still hits the wall. There's one more. Where is it?
There's only 2.
There's only 2
Stone
scorching
immune
rays?
to fire damage.
Yeah, it's 2d6. It's my range damage. Nothing too crazy. Just
Right side, I mean, you hit. Not hard enough to damage the stone. Stone has an AC of 17. So you put your 2. You focus. The 2 waves blast out, and you see the fire fade and the blast subside. And there's just a little trickle of like sand coming off the roof, like a little bit of maybe like a crack that formed, but it looks like you didn't damage anything. You just scorched.
I get it, Mogus. I'll do it with my hands. No magic.
Sorry.
It doesn't have to happen right away, big guy. We can get you healed up a little bit first, and then it'll be a lot easier to just carry stuff down, and I'll help you with it.
I don't know. This is pretty entertaining to watch, brother. I have to be honest with you. I could watch him do that all day.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny, but rather it's not, cave to
Don't
No, I
interrupt
think
me
it's-
during a pump.
I think it's brilliant. He wants to get everybody in here killed by collapsing cavern on our heads.
You can just call me a savior.
Praise Mogus. Elsevier just
Praise
makes his way
Mogus.
downstairs.
Praise Mo.
Dennis laughed, busts out laughing.
Bogus cult number 44321.
Maze Progus.
So, what are you guys doing?
I wanted to talk to the elves one more time and talk to them about a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just
Go back and
approach.
find them.
You head back into the little meeting room where they seem to be just finishing up their conversation with Orlyle, and they kind of clock you enter and just give you a gesture, and they finish up the convo, and then Orlyle and Furo kind of separate off.
I'll step back out as they're talking to them, just in case there's anything.
They don't
need to-
seem to like be trying to keep it private. He was just like, just wait a second,
okay.
basically. It was more like a just one moment kind of deal.
Cool.
Yes. What can I do for you?
There was one more thing that I had been wanting to ask you about.
Ask
How
away.
much do you know? How much do you know of Ropesh the Cruel?
Oh. You'd be hard pressed to find anyone who doesn't know anything about him. What do you want to know?
Well, I guess I should be specific. Are you aware of what the Empire's trying to do? The Imperium's trying to do regarding him?
No. Do enlighten me.
Well, I mean, all evidence points towards it, and I'm pretty sure at this point that they are trying to bring him back.
I'll be honest with you. It seems unlikely the Imperium would be trying to bring him back. They fundamentally altered all of their laws last time he rose to power.
Well,
In fact, that was the one time in history the Imperium has found allies here. With us. Be
Was
very
against him.
surprised. Against him. So I'd be very surprised to find out they'd like him back. Now, if you're
Well, then
telling
it-
me there's high-ranking members of the Imperium who may have a vested interest in doing so, I may be inclined to believe you, but the Imperium as a whole, unlikely. What
well,
do you
then,
know?
whoever it is, then I can tell you that it's happening because we were at the what's the name of the tomb that we fought with the Champion of Torm, with Jenna?
Oh, Maiden's Rest, the lighthouse,
Yeah,
Maiden's Rest lighthouse.
We went to a place that was holy to Torm, the worshippers of Torm, and
Your people,
there
I
was
see.
my people now. Yes, I'm quite new, but there was a body part there of Ropesh the Cruel that had been taken.
I'm familiar with the legends. I didn't know there was one there. Interesting place to put an unholy relic such.
It seemed a little bit strange, but I mean, under the watch of a god like that, I can understand it, I guess.
You say the piece was taken.
Well, when we got there, we found a place where there was storage for something, and based off of what the Champion of Torm told us, that was what was there, and it was open and nothing was there.
Were you the only ones to enter the tomb? Or were there others?
Well, there were many others that attempted to, but they all got corrupted when they entered, or when they fought whatever was in there.
Roll me an intelligence check at advantage.
Okay. $12.
Okay, that is no. You do remember quite vividly there was another group who was ahead of you. There were individuals who had fought the Cyclops, and a couple of them had perished, and their bodies had remained. You found those. You also found the remains of individuals who had done battle at the place, who had been returned. The individuals who were corrupted were the faithful of Torm, who had been slaughtered there. Yeah, you're just saying it as you go. Yeah, you're quite aware that there was another group that came before you, and they left those things there to deter anyone going in to find out what they had taken.
Right. Yeah, so I explained the gist of that, and so it was trapped after that group had left. And then many followers of Torm went in there and were corrupted, and yeah, it was not a pretty sight.
I'm sure it wasn't. So you're telling me that someone's going around trying to, what, steal the pieces of Ropesh? Do what with them exactly?
I mean, he was a necromancer. I can only assume that that sort of thing somebody wants to apply to him.
That would
Who knows if he was ever actually dead?
Oh, he was dead. Believe me. There are people still alive who saw it. Where I'm from. Hell. Our leader took his head herself.
Impressive.
I'll be honest with you. There've been troubling reports. We haven't heard from some of our contacts in some times, mostly around the Dwarven Kingdom. But we've never had particularly good relations, at least not for the past couple thousand years. We found it odd when they just fell out of contact.
I mean, yeah, that would be odd.
But we took it more as, well, Dwarven stubbornness than anything else. We'll look into it. I can't make you any promises. I don't know what's going on here. I've been focused on this job for too long. But I will, I'll get word to my people.
I thought it was something that you should know, because that would not be a good thing for anybody, really.
Do you know if any other pieces have been taken?
DM, I don't think I'm acutely aware of anything.
No, you haven't heard. You haven't heard anything that would suggest that others had been taken. Not you, at least. No. Not this character.
No, nothing that I'm aware of. However, I did, very strangely, it was a while ago now, stumble across the lost island of Ropesh, and I believe that I may have unknowingly led others there.
Oh, we got a
Just by
raid!
being
What's
there.
up? Thank you, Concerned Whale. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream, buddy. Just getting some D&D in. We're deep in the role play right now. I appreciate you swinging in here with your community and stuff. Thank you so much
Deep
for
in
the raid,
that
buddy.
hole in chat.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Adventuring is good today. We're just, it's a pretty heavy RP session today.
Yeah.
So what'd you say again? Sorry, just refresh my memory.
Got so excited by the raid.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
The island.
Well, I was talking about. Yeah, it was. I inadvertently got stranded on the lost island of Ropesh, and may have inadvertently led others there.
I thought that place was just a legend, but I mean,
I
lived
can
long
tell you
enough.
firsthand, it definitely isn't.
Doesn't surprise me as much as I would like. If you discovered it, that's one thing, but you say you're worried people may have found the way back there after what you did?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably too much for me to go into all the details, but we found some things there, and it was not quite the way we went out. The way we escaped.
Nothing we can do about that from here. I'll send word, and if I hear anything, I'll get back to you. If you hear anything else, feel free to chase down those leads as you need to. I'm not going to say the war can wait, because it can't, but
Doesn't seem that
Make
way
a
anymore.
stop off on the side from time to time. So be it. The last thing in the world anyone needs is Ropesh returning. And it
What I
worries
heard,
me.
I couldn't agree more.
If what you say about that island is true, and it has indeed been found, it's not...
We didn't even wind up there on purpose. It was a good chance.
I said, I'll figure out what I can, and I'll get back to you when I know a thing. But so far, I can tell you the piece we guard is safe. At least as far as I know. I'll have them check. In some time.
Probably wise.
Be difficult for them to make a trip all the way to the Feywild without us noticing. There's only so many ways to enter that domain.
And Ed. I almost wound up there once. It's been interesting.
I've been a few times. If you ever get the
Well,
chance, if you ever find yourselves in the Shadewood, in the city of Sunspire, I recommend paying the Feywild a visit. You might learn a thing or two.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome, and thank you for the information.
Doing what I can.
He's kind of like staring you down. Not like staring you down in the sense he's like trying to intimidate you, but he's gauging what you're saying and like the quality of your character a little bit. Like he's sizing you up. He's trying to get a good read on you and whether or not he can trust you with that. But he kind of leans over to his buddy and like whispers something in one of the other elves' ears, and the guy nods and heads down, and you see him kind of leave and begin descending that spiral down into one of the boats, and immediately like casts it off. Pushes the boat off and just starts paddling, and then you just see him disappear out the side of that northern cavern. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out then.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Gregory's gonna go to the market and spend at least 10 gold trying to buy any sort of houseware stuff for a bedroom. Cloth, fabric, stuff like that.
Okay.
I want to go for red, yellow, and then just like a mismatch of all of sorts of other colors if I
Okay,
can.
so there's not so much a market here yet. There's a place where a market once stood when this town was still active. There are a few people trading stuff, but it's mostly like bedrolls and like a sheet here and there and stuff like that. Not a lot of
Fucking
decor
IKEA.
here. They haven't quite like established the settlement yet, but you know, it seems like
Okay.
there's starting to be like a little bit of a trade hub forming where some people are like exchanging goods for other goods, not so much passing coin, but like, oh,
That works.
this person
great
needs
for
a-
Gregory.
this person needs a bedroll, this person has a sword or something, you know what I mean? Like they're just exchanging fucking items left.
That works out fantastic for Gregory, who has an entire shipping container in a small, tiny box.
This is true.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to like everyone for as long as I can and just do like the trading up YouTube thing, that trend.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
do a lot of like trading
Yeah.
around.
Okay.
I
Roll
want
me.
to get like bedrolls that are red, yellow, and I want to go for those two colors specifically, mostly for those.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Beautiful. Boop. Can I cast guidance?
Sure. Yeah. What's the first item you're trading as well?
Boop. I'm gonna go ahead and I'd gotten rid of quite a bit of the weapons cache. I wrote there some given away in hostage negotiation. I think that's when we got kidnapped. I tried to give away a bunch.
Yep. Yeah, that checks
I'll
out.
give away the rest of them. So like
Okay.
anyone who wants like swords for whatever reason, there's
With
like
an 18. It doesn't take you all that long. Like maybe you go through like 3 or 4 different people trading what little random weapons you have, and you get a pretty sizable collection of rags, kind of like not quite robes, but blankets and bedrolls of varying color, mostly like yellowish browns and reddish browns.
beautiful.
Yeah, you managed to collect. That was a good persuasion roll. 18. That's perfectly reasonable. You managed to trade up a
Lovely.
few things and enough to like I wouldn't say make the beds comfortable yet, but like you at least have a couple bedrolls and some sheets and stuff to do with what you will.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna go back to our little apartment room
Mhm.
and spend the rest of the day decorating Stan and Mantuka's rooms to for the yellows. I'd like the
Aw.
yellow to all be in Stan, so I'm gonna try and like, I'll rip up a bedroll that's yellow and put that over like his bedside table to make a little tablecloth.
Oh,
and
okay.
try and hang up some stuff. Use mending mouse when I can to sort of like fix up the edges of the rips and.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, and roll me just a straight d20. Roll me an interior decorating check.
Yes. See, now that should just be a stat as far as I'm concerned. Oh, can I use guidance again?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. Absolutely.
A little,
can.
as I'm going around, a little purple puffball sitting on my shoulder.
It's 8.
Okay.
You're not working with a lot. You're not working with
Yeah.
a lot here. It's pretty basic shit. You throw some stuff around Stanny's room, and you're like, yeah, that's good. It looks there's yellow stuff in Stanny's room now. Whether or not it looks good is debatable, but it looks passable.
Yeah, and then I'm using a lot of.
What's up, Morty?
Oh, and actually, yeah, this is what I'll do. I'll use mold
That's good.
earth. A little,
Oh.
a pair of gems come out of the box and blink like living eyeballs. And I'm gonna go out to the door once I'm done, and I'm just gonna
It's just
carve.
mildly unsettling.
It's terrifying, is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty
It-
fucked up.
It's kind of like using a bit of the dust in the air to make a bit of a form, but there's not a lot of earth around to
Yep.
work with like
There's
that.
plenty of sand and shit around you can make do, for sure.
Which I'm hoping is good because I'd like him to just go up to the door and I'll be like, just his name right there, and it's just gonna carve the word Stanislav in like really pretty nice writing on the door.
It kind of just like embosses itself out where it just pulls away from the door, and you have
Raised
Stanis-
lettering. You're
Stanis-
getting so much better.
it just it acknowledges you as best it can. For
It
a little
winks one.
Yeah,
Burp, burp.
yeah, there you go.
We
It's
all
a
get a
little-
hard on for calligraphy.
We love calligraphy here. We love it. Yeah, so you got Stanislav. There you go.
And then I do the same to Mantuka's room, just
Roll me
more
a-
like no mending mouse this time, just
yeah,
a little
okay.
purple
Yeah.
puff ball. And every now and again, I'd like to go and use the little Firefox as well to like singe some edges.
Oh, okay.
Give it
We're
a-
giving. Okay, yeah. I'm sure Mantuka loves burnt things after his recent experience.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure.
Oop.
I'm sure.
Didn't think about
So
that.
you
now,
crisp
but-
up some things
Do it.
around his room, kind of scorch mark it up. It has like a wartime feel, you know, like
yeah,
yeah.
that's
It's very Mantuka style. Roll me another d20.
Boop, and a little purple
Much
puff ball
better.
on my back.
Much better.
Damn yes.
You are damn impressed. It's like it's not only did you scorch things up, you have now distributed your decorations and made it like you've greatly improved the vibe. You are now passing the vibe check in Mantuka's room. Your little
Fan-frickin-tastic.
purple poof ball helps you out with that.
I'm doing a lot of like that embossed lettering with mold earth as well. I'm
Absolutely.
like, I didn't think you'd be able to help as much. You get the same thing. I embossed a Mantuka, but in big block letters, like really rough looking.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do Prismogus on his wall.
Awesome. I love it. So you have decorated your two friends' bedrooms, leaving just yours and Mr. Maker's. We'll see how Mr. Maker feels about sharing a room with you later on.
I want to wait for him to wake up. I really think he's gonna want input.
I feel like he's gonna want input for sure.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Bejewel the whole thing.
Just bejewel him. Bejewel Mr. Maker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Back
start
rooting
stacking
corner
things
check.
on him.
Oh my god.
This isn't a college party.
While Gregory is spending a couple
Just
hours.
solo cups.
Oh god, no. While Gregory's spending his time decorating, Stanny, you're talking to the elves. Mantuka, what were you getting up to after trying to blast this cavern?
I think there's only one way for me to go after that. I'm gonna make a chain gang, and then I'm gonna lead them and direct them in moving rocks.
Okay. Roll me first off. It's not really a leadership stat, so I might make a custom stat for that if we're going to have you guys in leadership positions going forward. But
Persuasion is pretty much
you
it,
could
right?
persuade people to help you. You could try to intimidate people to help you. And if you're intimidating them physically, you can roll intimidation using your strength stat as your bonus.
Oh, there we go. Strength stat.
Again, I've said it before. I've said it many times. You take away all of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's like charisma and stuff, like ability to convince people to put him in every movie and butcher every fucking character he's ever played. You take all that away, he's still extremely physically imposing and would absolutely be able to intimidate me 100%.
How does a rock pee?
So with the
Dwayne's
plus
Johnson.
4, oh, that's horrible. 16 for my intimidation.
16 is okay. That is reasonable. You go around, you start trying to get people to help you. It seems like some people are still recovering from the battle. Some just aren't really interested. They're doing their own thing. And after a while, you start getting frustrated.
for legs, you fuck!
You start yelling at people and trying to like whip people into shape and get up and start helping you. And eventually, some of the more able-looking individuals in the group begin to file up to help you begrudgingly, but they're scared enough of you and have enough respect for you as basically a hero of the resistance at this point to do what you ask. And next, I need you to make me an athletics check as you begin leading the chain gang on these rocks.
After I finish my conversation, can I see this and come help?
Absolutely.
The inner drill sergeant coming out.
Nat 20. Nat?
We love that 20.
Okay,
Stanny?
then.
Stanny, you can either roll me an 1 you can roll me an athletics to help just moving shit, or you can roll me a persuasion check to try to get people working a little harder. It's up to you.
I'm a leader by example.
Okay. Go ahead. All right. So, Mantuka, you begin just hauling rocks, handing them off to the next person who is just not able to keep up with your tempo at any point. And after a while, you see Stanny. You just see a familiar golden-skinned individual, shining hair, come up next to you and kind of like move that person to the next spot in line and just start fucking hauling rocks out. He's basically tossing them to people as you're going through this between the two of you. I'd say it's going to take you a good chunk of the day, probably most of it, and maybe working into the night a little bit. But at a certain point, you see as you're kind of reaching the top part, you've managed to clear enough that you can... Who has dark vision? Stanny, you do. Mantuka, do you have dark vision?
Fuck no!
Okay, so Stanny,
I'm also going to cast Bless on people who are helping.
Absolutely. They're keeping up at this point. They're struggling a bit. You can see it starting to wear on them by this point as the work has gone on. But with your dark vision, Stanny, you can actually see kind of over this top where you've just now cleared out a stone from. You can see a dark cavern, like with your dark vision. It's all pitch black. Like it is pitch black, but you can see that the walls go down, or at least the ceiling kind of going downwards until it eventually disappears. Good ways past your vision.
Are there several torches around?
There's torches on your guys' side, but you can't see any on the other side. And if there are, they're not lit.
No, yeah.
Rye with the sub.
Torches, right?
I love you, Rye. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
On
Love
our
you,
side.
baby.
Love you.
On our side, there's plenty of torches, right?
Oh yeah, no, tons. There's even like on the ground, there's like a couple like bins of like metal bins of torches that are just ready to go for people as you need to like go around and relight shit and replace torches. They have extra.
Excellent. I'm gonna grab 2, light them up, throw one about half of my strength in, and then throw all of my strength in.
Okay, so it is a pass about that big. You can throw. Is going to be very difficult because like you've cleared out this pass that is basically this wide, small enough for maybe a smaller sized person, like average skinny. Ask you and Mantuka would probably not be able to do it.
You mean like a druid in a wild shape?
I just want to see for now. Can I double the size of that hole in a reasonable amount of time?
You've got about all the work you're going to be able to get done on it today. It looks like a lot of the other rocks are jammed in pretty tight, but you can now clear that hole. If you'd like to throw a torch down, it's going to be technically a ranged attack, so just roll me a dex check because you're not proficient in throwing torches.
Gregory wild shapes into a yellow canary.
I thought I saw a putty tat. I did see a putty tat.
15.
15's enough. So instead of like throwing the torch so it teeters like end over end. You hold it almost like a javelin, and almost trying to like football chuck it into this hole. And it goes in probably about 20 feet before it hits the ceiling and falls onto the rocks below. What it looks like, based on how you can see it, you guys are like on the flat part here, where the cave was dug or collapsed, and you were digging out the cave in here. You cleared a pass here, and then you threw the torch, and it hit the wall here where it appears to begin descending.
Okay.
So it looks like basically when it caved in, it was on a ramp or some kind of hill going downwards, and a lot of the rocks tumbled down that way and blocked up here.
Okay.
As well. So as you throw the torch, it's very clear. It's quite a steep incline. Probably even stairs under these, possibly.
Can I use thaumaturgy to make the flames get bigger and bigger until the torch is fully ignited, just to get best vision in there? Or is that more or less all I can see?
You, with the light from that torch, all you see is where that descent begins. Like, you see a little bit, you see all the way in, which you got about 20 feet of straight, like flat, and then sharp descent, and that's about it. You see a lot of bugs as the torch kind of throws in. You see a ton of insects just begin skittering over the rocks and into these little holes and crevices they can find away from the bright light.
Okay, 2 things I want to do. I want to get into this hole, not to the point where I'm going to get stuck, but to where my body is kind of muffling the sound from behind me. And I want to listen and just hear if I can hear anything other than just like bugs and shit. Anything that's odd.
Roll me a perception check, please.
22.
Okay, the first thing that you hear is the sound of lapping water. Again, very similar to what you heard when you're in the lowest point of your guys', like where your home is, in that little tidal pool that seems to come in and go with the tide. Sounds like there's something similar like that happening on the other side. It looks like a lot of this is kind of built on this natural, like underground tidal pool that seems to be coming in off the coast here. With that check, you do hear what sounds like insects, like just skittering over rock and stuff. And even as you throw the torch, there's panic sounds of things, mice even probably, but nothing that strikes you as particularly big off the top of your head.
Nothing spooky.
Not that you can tell from here, at least. But you're in about as far as your broad shoulders and muscles will allow you. And all the rest of the people see on the other side is a pair of Stana feet sticking out the other side of the rock. Yeah, it's basically he's up to his waist, and his ass is just sticking in the Mantuka. Don't make that face.
1,000 years of pain.
And then
rage.
While I am in that hole, I am going to cast drop a divine sense to see if within 60 feet of where I am, if there's any celestial fiends or undead.
One that you pick up.
Cool. Neat.
Yeah,
That's
you don't know what might be down there, but like the way it looks out, once you're through that, it looks like basically the height of the ceiling and where the cave-in is, there's a pretty sizable gap. It's just trying to get through this one spot. That's the real difficult part.
How deep are we talking here that we have to clear out?
You are, like, you get 2 feet in before you're stuck, and there's another 18 feet of crawling time. Gregory might be able to do it. One of the elves could probably pull it off, like one of the thinner, more live individuals could probably make that crawl. But in terms of clearing it out, to do it safely with the way it is now, it would definitely take a couple days. But you could get someone in there to inspect if you really wanted to.
I feel thick-shamed.
I'm sorry, the cavern collapsed.
Would have got stuck too.
Yeah, no, your thick cheeks definitely struggle a little bit at a couple points, and you pull yourself back out. And you can still see now, like as you stand out, and like the rest of you look at the hole he's cleared. You can see the torch still kind of glowing and sending a little bit of light up your way, flickering, and it will burn for quite a while before that actual wooden torch handle burns through.
Fine. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Bill Severe, who was one of the people picking rocks up at the end there. What did you see? Anything spooky?
Well, nothing really yet. It goes down. It just appears right after this rock pile. It just goes down at a pretty steep angle. And there's more rushing water somewhere down there, and a shit ton of mice and insects.
Yeah. That makes sense. There was quite a bit in the buildings when we first came in. They still show up time to time. Watch out for scorpions. Check your boots in the morning.
That-
There's not a word of a joke on his face at all. And like Stanislav, you're used to that. You've traveled in the desert with
brings
your
me
brother
back
for
to,
years.
brings
I
me
know.
back to
It's funny how
old
those
days.
kind of memories, kick up from time to time. Scorpion in the boot, classic
Yep.
childhood prank.
There's a scorpion in my boot.
Remember that time
Well,
I put Cobra in your boots? It was a good time. Funny times.
Oh,
Did you
he
die?
just glares at him.
Did you die, or did your caring brother have anti-venom on him at the time and cured you?
Yes, the caring brother would not have needed antivenom if he didn't put the cobra in my boot in the first place.
You're not wrong, but it was very funny watching your foot size up to the size of a balloon.
Okay, I'll give you that. It was pretty funny. Well, I mean, Gregory, you could fit in there, but I don't really think it's a good idea for you to go in there alone.
And probably not the way I am right now.
Oh, geez, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been quiet back here, but I've been drinking.
did Valzir start without me?
Valzir finished without you. He's out.
I'll be honest with you, it isn't the first time he's done that.
He's funny. I missed him a lot. He's my first best friend, and then these two are my second and third, respectively. Stan. It's my second one, and then the third one. Not in order of how much I like them, honestly, Stan. You're getting up to be the first one.
Oh,
That's
thanks, buddy.
that's very sweet. This child is drunk. Maybe you should go to bed, little one.
Which one's he again? Right, the brother.
Unless it's Gregory.
You're the brother.
I personally find this hilarious.
He's the cool brother.
It's funny, but sooner or later, steep cliff, drunk child,
Yeah.
accidents happen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
that
Maybe-
is
as he
true.
says that, he kind of like nudges you away from the cliff's edge that you're starting to lilt towards a
Oh,
little
jeez.
dangerously.
Oh wait, guys, I have a surprise for you. I'm back in at your rooms.
Oh?
he's doing. He's
Oh, so
doing.
you're drunk decorating?
Yeah,
Oh, great! I love this.
I wasn't super drunk. I was just buzzed though. I'm not I'm not falling over. I'm just having fun.
I will be very disappointed if you've not put Cobra under the pillow.
I didn't think about it at the time, and I regret that.
Can you turn into Cobra? We can make this happen.
Can you turn into a cobra?
I go immediately into the bone mask, just slap it on, and I turn into a garden snake.
That is not Cobra. That is little sissy snake.
I pick up Gregory Garden Snake and
Quicker.
wrap him around my shoulders and neck.
Very.
Just got a little tiny bone mask, like a little like bone like a robber mask.
I love it. I'm gonna start going towards my room with Gregory Snake up around my neck.
We love it.
Just see his little tail just like swinging like happily.
He looks at Mantuka. How do you travel with these people all the time?
Oh, please, brother. We traveled for
I
years.
don't know anymore.
You were a little less you. Yeah, he follows you
100%.
guys. Follows you guys downstairs to the room. Mantuka, do you go see the surprise Gregory has left for you?
I will begrudgingly follow.
So
And
you get to the bottom, and you notice now the water has like risen to its full height. It is definitely high tide at this point. And it's about a foot, like literally just a foot from the base of the cliff, right where your room is. It went up a good like 10-15 feet in that time, like quite substantially. One of the elven boats is currently floating alone, as the other one seems to have been taken. And you're led down this long, kind of 40-foot or so hallway carved right into the stone and brought into the empty entryway / kind of living space of your
Long
home.
and lonesome road.
Gregory takes you to the left where your room is, and the first thing you both notice is above each of your doors in very different fonts is both of your names.
This is amazing. I pull the door open immediately and go inside and
There is just bits of yellow cloth and fucking burlap and everything just draped around the room in the most haphazardly thrown together interior decorating display you've ever seen in your life. There's not a lot of thought put into it. Like, there was thought put into it. It was a very kind gesture, but, like, it looks like Gregory just came in and started throwing bits of yellow cloth anywhere he could. But you do
meltdown.
you do have one table stand that has, like, a nice cloth over it that looks like that was the one area he got right. But the rest is just, like, he TP'd your room with yellow cloth, basically.
This might be the nicest thing that anybody has ever done for me.
I just like, and in that moment, Gregory poofs back, and he's just around your shoulders.
Yeah,
And
no, I
just give you a hug, and I'm like, it's the least I can do, buddy.
Elsevier
big ol' hug back.
pokes his head in,
Adolescent Gregory!
sees it.
What?
You mean all I had to do is stop calling you baby Gregory and you make me stuff?
I will make you whatever you want, my very large and incredibly intimidating friend.
I put you down.
I'm
Don't
gonna
you-
take that as an OU.
He sure can. I'll
Prison
write
favors.
it. I'll write it in blood. No, I won't. I take that
I
back immediately.
immediately want you to write it in blood.
I love that.
No.
I should. No, okay. First
Okay,
off,
well, I
love-
would like it in not blood. I want it writing right now. I believe in you.
You got it.
How
I
about
open up-
you smack it out of your hands?
Have
How
it.
about you write it in the morning when you're sober and you've had time to properly think about it?
I like that idea.
this is a good idea. I like
Time for
what
party.
you've like what you've done with room. You do just don't feel the need to touch mine, okay?
Oh, as soon as I find out, you know I'm gonna put something there.
I'm going to work very hard to make sure you do not find out where my room is in this building. I'm
This'll
going
be a
to
fun
put a
game.
lot of effort into it.
It's gonna be a fun game. By
Sounds
the
like a
end of-
challenge, brother.
I agree.
Goodbye. He turns, just like dips back towards the
Whoa.
kitchen where you guys found him. Very,
fast.
very fast. Like, you could have
Oh, yeah.
swore,
Injured.
dude used step of the wind to get the fuck out of there in a hurry. Like, just
Yeah.
vanished.
He's a
For an
monk.
injured man, he can just book it.
Mantuka, you
Yeah, get used to that.
slide open the door to your room, and Gregory, did a little better on this roll. So describe what Mantuka sees as he comes into his room.
Pete, you'll understand this entirely. It's like an Orgrimmar inn. Like
I love
one
that.
of the yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like a lot of hanging tapestry. The Mogus symbol is burnt into a couple of the tapestries, and every fringe is like perfectly burnt in like quarter squares. It's quite battle-esque. There's a ship's wheel I was able to get right on the wall.
Definitely found a ship's wheel. He just traded up.
Yeah, it was
I
just
like it. I like it.
I don't know if you've ever been on a boat, but you're like the captain of battle, and that's kind of where I went, you know.
That's really good. Good thinking. I did use a boat to travel from my island across this vast water.
I remembered that, and this is all on purpose. But if you want anything else, I can keep working on it. Once the Mr. Maker wakes up, I think we're gonna work together and do something too. I have a feeling he could probably do some other cool stuff.
Well, he is called Mr. Maker.
Exactly. I have a feeling like he can take what I've done and elevate it even further.
I wonder what his real name is.
I hadn't thought of that. It's not marvelous.
I heard it was Jolie.
It's actually Marv. No, I'm kidding. It's not Marv.
it's
not
Marvin.
We gotta start calling him
Maker.
Marvin, the marvelous Marvin Maker. No, we don't actually know his name yet. He hasn't even told me.
It was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
What happened to
Where is my earth-shattering kaboom?
Kaboom.
That's good.
So, at that point, you all kind of take in the decorations that Gregory did for you, the effort that was put in, the very kind gesture, and as you're kind of taking a moment to just appreciate that, you hear the sound of what sounds like boots walking in, heavy boots, but worn by someone, like, you can tell that it's an armored individual, but moving quite quietly. And as you kind of all turn and look down the hallway, you see a very, very familiar elvish figure. One arm made entirely of metal, standing there,
Hey!
flowing blonde hair. Well, I'm glad to see you're all awake.
Well, would you look at that?
He just smiles at you for a moment. And that's going to be where we wrap up for today.
Hey!
So,
The whole gang's here.
yeah, dude, everyone lived.
Oh,
I rolled for everyone independently. Linax did okay.
so happy.
So that's
Linux
gonna be.
was wrecking shit up on that the balcony of the
He
the
was
wall.
the one who pulled you out.
Oh yeah,
He
he
was
was
the one
Winter
that-
Soldier up and down the place.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So
Bucky.
that'll be it.
Bucky!
That'll be it for today. We will be back next week with a continuation of our little adventure here. Maybe we'll do some exploring deeper into the ruins, or not even the ruins. This place is completely like preserved and
Ain't
standing.
nothing ruined about it.
Of the Narish Sanctuary. Goddamn, that's a bit of Narish Sanctuary. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Pretty.
So we will be back next week. In the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow doing some Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy with our little nostalgia corner day. Other than that, nothing really new or exciting. Might start doing some Star Wars The Old Republic streams on Friday nights just because I'm loving that game and people seem to be enjoying hanging out while I play it. Anytime, TCat. Thank you for coming in.
Friendly.
It's been very fun. So let's figure out who's doing stuff on the Twitch right now.
Do thing.
None of my D&D peeps are live right now. Normally I'd raid out on Goblets, but he is away. Oh, also, if y'all want to catch me actually playing some D&D for a change instead of DMing it, I am playing the marvelous Sprocket, Goblin. He's a wonderful little artificer that I'm playing in Goblets and Warlocks Descent into Avernus campaign. It has been...
Smokes just so many cigarettes.
I do smoke a lot of cigarettes. I'm not gonna lie. It's been very hard to
Yes.
keep this voice up for 4 to 5 hours every other Saturday.
It's not
It's
actually
really-
cigarettes. It's just exhaust.
It's
from his
used
machines.
to be. It's all of the above. So I don't
Everyone
really
loves
have.
a grating voice, right?
I don't really have anybody who's streaming D&D right now, so I'm just gonna raid you out on Rusty Renegade because she's one of the Rusties. She's one of the Council of Rusty. Soon will assemble all 5 and form Rustodia, thus conquering the entire universe. Anyway,
The Rustfinity Gauntlet.
the Rustfinity Gauntlet, that is also a thing we're working on collecting. So be sure to go show some love over there. She's a hell of a streamer. She does lots of cool games and sometimes even throws in some art streams. She's quite the painter. So go show some love over there. We will catch you all next time. I have been Rusty. These have been my friends, and I'll see you tomorrow for some Nostalgia Corner. Peace!
We have been.
Bye.
Ah!